Welcome back to the 1010s Podcast with Michael and Robbie and actually Adam. Real Adam.
Yay, I'm back.
Flatham's in the corner.
I was going to download like one of those
Welcome back, Cotter.
soundbite because I was going to have like an air horn for my return, my triumph. Yeah, my triumphant return. I always think about doing that, and then I'll hear other people do it on other podcasts like, damn it, I need to do that one of these days.
I think Booney offered to buy us a soundboard, like a sound thing, keypad.
Like a radio
Very
show.
early on,
Yeah.
you refused to do any of the sort because you felt it was too like morning talk show radio-y.
It is.
And you-
but now it's come all the way back around where
Now
it's funny because
Yeah,
it's
absolutely
because we are not that.
because we're almost
making fun of
200
it.
episodes in, and
We
we're
don't
allowed
care.
to do other shit.
We don't care.
Yeah, we
anymore.
were a lot
that's
more.
the long and short of it. Is
We were a lot
don't-
more business serious than we are
We
now.
don't give a shit anymore
We don't. Not one.
about life and other things.
Oh yeah, no, it's whatever.
But that's all right. We have friends, and friends send us gifts.
Yeah.
so
Ben-
many gifts.
Ben, I don't know how to say his last name.
Solemn,
something like that.
Solemn, Solemn.
He has the
Send bowling.
There you go.
he has the peach drifting machine that is the supercharged
It's one of my favorite looking cars.
S chassis.
S13,
No,
S14. Damn it!
it's an S14.
Yeah, you
had
would have
two
guessed
choices
wrong.
and I was wrong.
50-50 shot, and there was a 100% chance you were going to be wrong. So he sent us some gifts because he works at a dealership, and they do he does speed shop stuff.
Yeah.
That's his deal. So he had some stuff he sent us, and I'm just going to distribute this. Adam, he
Oh,
sent
God.
you
I'm excited.
a Cadillac SRX license plate
License plate frame. Let's be specific.
and a hunting habitat education legislation Minnesota Deer Hunters Association, or for sure MDHA sticker pack.
Wow. I don't know what to do with the generous gifts.
So you
With
said
which
your dad
items.
wouldn't wear this, the Rydell
I don't know. He
T-shirt?
might.
What
How
size?
big is it?
large.
Oh, it's definitely not gonna fit my dad. It'll fit me.
Oh, Scott, look at that though. Look
Yeah,
at that nice and
it's
palatable.
not like the worst thing in the world, but it's very baby.
Is
boom
that beefy?
t-shirt. Oh, that's for
it's
sure
gotta
not
be
a fitted
beefy.
tee,
It's
dude.
a Gildan. It's a Gildan. So
That's
it's
a
a little
safe.
better.
It's a safe.
Do you want
t-shirt.
it?
I'll wear it. I
You
can wear
do
it.
something with
I
it.
could-
Give it
It's
to a
a
friend.
good shop tee.
Give it to somebody you don't
Oh yeah, I'll wear it in the shop. I keep going through shirts left and right.
Send us a picture of BoJack Horseman.
That's the one on the wall under the Kanga Motorsports studio
But
sign.
why? Like a bad copy of it, even. Like not even.
There's BoJack for you.
The funny thing was, I come in and that's the first thing I see, and I'm like,
It's gonna get weird.
"Did you start dating a horse girl?"
Does anybody actually need an ice scraper? Because this is a nice ice scraper.
I can't reach things on my truck.
There you go. It
Yeah.
matches your truck.
Robbie,
it's
do you
red.
still have the glove one? Have
Yeah,
you not
everybody-
given that up yet?
No, everybody needs a glove.
Come on, man.
that
That's tacky
has
as shit.
no reach.
That's fine. It worked really well when my car wasn't so tall.
Well,
Because then
Things have changed, Robbie.
there's a cover that goes over your hand grip.
yeah,
part.
it's a glove.
It's a
People know
glove.
what gloves are, Robbie.
It's it's more like a mitten. There's no fingers.
He's kind of explaining.
People
And then
know
you
what
can
gloves are.
then you
Robbie.
can then you can scrape the window without getting ice on your fingers. It's wonderful. You can make fun of it all you want. It's worth it. If you see one at Dollar General for like $1, buy it.
He sent Robbie this sign. It says Corvette parking, or so what's this? A Corvette Boulevard. That's
and
going
now
in his shop.
it's accurate to the block that I own.
There you go. See, he could put that in there.
All right.
I have a Corvette.
God, does it ever
short block.
stop?
No, this is an endless box.
Would you like an AC Delco beanie thing?
Yes, I have
There you
AC
go.
Delco parts.
Oh man, thank
Genuine
you.
GM AC Delco.
It's too hot.
Oh,
for this crap,
dude. I can
that's a
go
nice
to
hat.
Gridlife now.
That's a flat,
Jesus
flat bill hat.
Christ.
It's one of those.
That's a hipster hat.
It's one of
if
those
I ever
hipster
saw
hats.
one.
I'm wearing this.
What's it say?
No idea.
Oh, okay.
Doesn't matter. It's better.
don't-
It's better if
nobody
you don't
wants
know.
to know.
Ooh, does anybody want the Rydell stocking hat? 'Cause we
Yeah, I
have
do
that.
now.
That's-
He's got a Rydell 240. I could have a Rydell 240.
How much is it worth to you, Robbie?
Not
We got
much.
some GM wheel locks.
I don't like locks.
I think I'm gonna give them to my dad.
So you had a problem
but-
with wheels being stolen?
Yeah.
No, but he might like it. But I have this for Robbie. It's very special.
Oh, I got a special gift. Even though I
Robbie got a
stole
special
all
gift.
these other ones.
Oh God. Oh God. I'm excited but nervous for some reason.
He wrapped it in bubble wrap to make sure it's cared for.
I can't believe he had this. Robbie, it's a Nissan.
rad.
It's for your beverage.
It's a koozie.
It's a koozie, but it's metal.
It's a stainless steel koozie.
See? Look at that.
That looks so good on your desk, Robbie.
And
I'm
it says,
taking this to work with all
says
those.
Nissan
No.
on it.
That's metal, Robbie.
It's aluminum. I said stainless steel.
It's got a Rydell one too here. What else
Nice.
you got? Oh, he did send the smartwatch.
Oh no!
I didn't think this was in here.
Who gets a smartwatch?
It's like a
That's for you.
$3
He wanted he
smartwatch
wanted
you
me to
bought on
wear it.
eBay.
Yeah,
Oh, that's awesome.
I didn't think he sent it.
He was talking about this. This got brought up on our watch thread we had in the Facebook group at one point, and he was like, "I paid $4 for this on eBay or something like that." And I was like, "Damn, dude,
How do you,
is it
I
awesome?
can't get it to turn.
it's probably dead."
Yeah, you might need to charge it.
But it links to your phone.
Anyway,
and
I'll
you can,
try it.
like read text messages and
Yeah, then like
whatnots.
Russia can read your text messages too.
Yeah,
Probably.
That's
It
why
does-
it's $4.
Dude, Russia can read my text messages already.
I'm sure that they can.
They probably already are.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's somebody else's problem.
I don't say anything I wouldn't want people to know on my text messages.
We say the same thing on the show.
Yeah, exactly.
For the public to hear.
Yeah. What's the difference? I feel weird wearing a beanie.
You should.
You
You
don't
look
have
great.
to.
You look great. Made in China. No surprise.
There's some other crap in there.
I want it.
No, it's like the soft koozies, and
Oh. No, I got plenty of soft koozies. I like them hard.
he has
That's what I've heard about you, Rob.
Chevy. You probably need that.
I need
Here,
that.
Take
Ooh,
the
there you
Chevy
go.
Performance catalog.
Yeah, this
you
is like
go.
3 weeks too late.
Well, we haven't had a normal fucking podcast in like
now that I've
6
replaced all my
years.
parts.
It's. I mean,
I
you,
should probably-
Oh, look, right there.
I should probably
I
keep-
ordered one of those.
I should
Robbie,
probably
you'll,
keep
you'll
one.
probably need that again. It's fine.
If I keep driving the way I do, yeah, absolutely.
Using that piss water oil.
No, I'm using good oil now.
Jesus Christ, you might as well put like Bud Light in your engine.
It happens, man.
Live and learn, man.
Yep.
Live and learn. I would have
Yep.
never said that was such a problem. And
I
like,
never would have guessed.
seems like everybody knew it except us,
Yes.
which is weird.
I use VR1.
Yeah, I didn't think anything of it.
I use Rotella because I'm cheap.
Rotella, I think, is also a decent option.
There was one time it says something about being diesel
Yeah.
oil on there, and I just crossed it out with a Sharpie and wrote race car above it. Fixed.
Nobody questions it.
Fixed.
I have this hat and I'm wearing it,
That's a nice hat.
ironically,
No, you're not.
but
You kinda
next
like
week,
it?
next week,
It won't be
ironic, and then I will be that guy. I wish it was floral print so I could be a real hypocrite. Because I've made fun of
What
people
does it
with
say,
the floral
Robbie? I
print.
can't read it from here. Oh, apparently no.
Troubadour?
Nobody knows.
Troubadour?
We'll figure it out later.
I can't even.
It's fine.
I can't read cursive.
I don't wanna take my
went to
headphones
school
back
in
off.
America. I can't
Yeah,
read
no
cursive.
shit. Dude, apparently they stopped teaching cursive in Nevada,
I think they stopped teaching everywhere.
Iowa wide.
and
it's
Katie's
done.
like upset about it, and I was like, good, it's a total waste of time.
There's a lot of things we should be teaching.
That's not one of them.
No, we're just
Who
we just won't teach
cares?
anything anymore. It doesn't matter.
Do
I think
kids
we-
even need to know how to write at all?
Just no, they teach typing now
Yeah.
at like age 3.
Yeah, it's fine.
need to teach them how many elections to take when they, when they get their first job.
Oh yeah.
'Cause both Robbie and I screwed that up.
Fuck that one up. I had to pay in my
Yeah,
first year.
that sucked. That was not a
expecting that
fun
one.
bill at all.
Yeah.
Just
Thank
saying.
God I have a
Budgeted
mom
for-
who knows better.
Yeah, budgeted for a check to come in the mail. A bill came.
Shit. But that's the practical shit we should be teaching
Yeah.
kids, and not.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
Anyway, yeah, we don't need to go down that road. We can,
Let's
we
not
can
get on
continue
that
on because we
soapbox,
don't have time
please.
for that shit. Adam has an opener and
I have
a
so many
Gridlife
things
experience
to do this to
and
talk
he's
about this week.
Going to share them with us,
Yeah.
and it is presented by Factor Fabrication. And Booney is going to probably kill you next week. I'm just letting
That's
you
fine.
know now
There's a
because you canceled on him, and he took it very personally.
That's fine.
He
should.
sent me pictures of many jiu-jitsu moves.
You know what? And once
I was
again-
like, okay.
Once again, he never says a thing to me. So whatever.
That's what next week's for.
Whatever.
That's not gonna fit.
Oh, my kombucha doesn't fit in my thermos that
Just pour
Ben
it in
sent
there.
me.
Just pour it.
Just pour it in.
Yeah.
It's not that sort of thing, is it?
Does it have a hole in it?
I don't think
No.
that I would
You
pour,
can pour
things
it in there.
It doesn't have a hole in it?
I should go put a can in. I think
That's
it's for
probably
a
why
can.
things won't go in.
Yeah. It's for Bush Lights.
Ah, it says Rydell on it.
Bush
That's
lattes.
nice.
Bush Lattes.
Anywho,
Bud Light smoothies.
Pork chops in a can.
America.
Merca. All right, so you went to a swap meet. That's
I
pretty
did.
Merca.
So, in Iola, Wisconsin,
Wisconsin.
which is literally a town of like 12 people. It's a tiny, tiny little town. But they have this like fairground sized place where they host every year they host a car show and a swap meet. And the swap meet is like, it's advertised as like the largest swap meet in the country.
In the land.
Yeah. But
I think he sent you a Pizza Ranch rewards card. There you go. I just found that on the ground.
That's nice. Is it preloaded?
I don't think it is, probably.
I think it's just a rewards card. I think you have to go to Pizza Ranch. Do you go to Pizza Ranch?
I mean,
He might. He's close to it
occasionally.
anyway.
Well,
Katie really likes the place.
there you go, I guess.
My kid, that's like all he eats is pizza. So
There you go.
anyway, we went to this place in Wisconsin, and my headphones aren't working today. Something's going on. I'm just worried it's not my headphones and actually my mic.
No,
you guys can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
All
you.
right, that's great.
Yeah, it's doing this over here.
If it's recording, that's all that matters.
It's recording.
And you can hear me.
I can
Sort
hear you
of.
for
Excellent. We're not going to edit that out then.
No, it's fine.
sure. It's been like 3 fucking weeks.
So this Iola, Wisconsin place, right? They're so like upscale and high end. They have their own phone app.
What?
Goddamn.
Yeah. And so like you go on the phone app and so it's got like a map and a list of events and all this stuff on the app.
Jeez.
It's super
Just for
rad.
the town?
You gotta pay.
No,
You gotta
for-
pay to
no,
get into
for
this
the-
thing.
for the swap meet.
Just the swap meet.
The car show and swap meet. That's it. Which is revolutionary,
Why
really. Well,
is
that's
it-
like-
why is that happening in Iola, Wisconsin? And
I don't,
not,
so like the swap meet they have like big names come to this thing. Like Chip Foose has been there
Oh, geez.
and other stuff like that. And this year there was a whole host of B-list car celebrities, myself not included, who were invited to this. People I didn't really know at all.
Richard Rollins.
Nah, he wasn't there.
He
I
was
did.
there.
I did like half-ass meet Aaron Kaufman this weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, there you go.
That's a story for a few minutes from now. But this place, so they have a big ass car show, and then they have the swap meet itself, and then they have a car corral. Okay,
Car corral.
so like if you have a car that you want to sell and not parts of a car or a car that is in parts, it has to be a running, driving, ready to go,
Gotcha.
licensable car. Then it goes to the car corral.
Gotcha.
And if you have like swap meet stuff, they have a swap meet for you. And then there's also a car show, which we really didn't look at all because I didn't really
That's
have
not
time.
important.
The swap meet is massive. I think it's probably the biggest one I've gone to, and I've been to a lot. I mean,
Yeah.
I realize, Robbie, you haven't been to a ton of these, but
No.
for Michael's sake and almost no one else on this show, I'd say it's at least 4 greenfields.
Oh, and Greenfield's big.
It's huge.
That's crazy.
It's huge,
So it's like 8 wild weights.
at least.
Yeah, maybe more than that.
At
even.
least. And then
10.
So then they have concerts at night. Local bands I've never heard of, like
So they're awesome.
like old school
It's covers of
cover.
Journey only.
Yeah, exactly. Journey cover bands, which would be great because Journey is awesome.
No. Journey's fine. Journey cover bands are usually terrible.
No, you're not wrong. I mean,
I'm just saying.
it's fair. But so I took a bunch of pictures of interesting things that were at this this car show, and for the most part, I've forgotten what most of them were because it's been weeks. And so this is going to be an adventure for everybody,
Yeah.
myself included. The first picture that Robbie has up, for the most part, I forgot all prices, and I'm terrible with numbers, as everybody who listens to the show is aware of. So I'm not really going to talk about it much. But the first picture Robbie's got pulled up here, it was a Cheetah kit car.
Kit
That was
cars
set
all
up-
the time.
Set up like full on for road course racing, caged,
Oh, man, that would be
harnesses,
way too
the
much
whole
fun.
9 yards. Small block
Oh, I love
Chevy
it.
of some sort. Super rad. That was in the car corral.
That's awesome.
Love it.
So if there were 100 cars in the car corral, 25 of them were C4 Corvettes.
Nice.
And I'm not even sure that that's an exaggeration.
I'm sure it's not.
Like, I think that's almost legitimately the numbers that were there for both. I don't know what was up with that. There were a ton of them in
Everybody
there.
wants to get rid of them.
And they were all more money than I would ever be willing to spend on a C4 Corvette. And I like C4 Corvettes.
Ooh.
There was a ZR1 there,
That's money.
which was sweet.
ZR1's a
Actually, no, I don't know that it was a ZR1. These things are coming back to me now.
The concussion's wearing off, and it's all coming back.
I'm still on a Gridlife hangover.
Yeah.
But he had the body kit and the badges, and everything looked right. But then on the little piece of paper that he had for the ad, it said LT1 on it.
Son of a bitch.
And so now I don't know if he just is too stupid to know what he has or if it was fake.
Might have been cloned.
And the hood wasn't open.
You don't see as many, like...
Cloned Corvettes.
Yeah.
Like up-spec'd Corvettes that aren't up-spec.
Correct.
It's not
You
really...
don't see that as much.
No. It's not really a Corvette owner thing.
Yeah, but also once you get past like 1972, you don't really see any clones of stuff anymore.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because it was real big in the muscle car era when we were young, and like Barrett Jackson was selling SS 454s for $1 million. And,
Or heavy Cudas.
right, exactly.
Stuff like
so
that, yeah.
It's just not as, I don't think it's as big a deal anymore as it used to be.
I think Robbie's trying to find a ZR1 picture right now. That's a base model.
I don't know that that's a ZR one.
I think...
Robbie, quick note, as you're looking for it, looks exactly the fucking same.
These all claim to be the...
Yeah, they all look the same.
Sure.
I don't know.
I have no idea.
So the major difference between the base, like a regular C4 and the ZR1 is that was an overhead cam motor
Yep.
designed by Lotus.
Right.
Dual?
Quad.
Right. Quad cam.
Yes.
Dual overhead.
Yes.
Okay. So 4
Yes.
cams.
Yeah.
It's like basically the most advanced motor that GM up to current day has ever built.
Okay.
No push rods.
So it sucked.
Well,
I think it
did-
was good, but they're like, Jesus Christ, this is expensive.
It didn't make it out of the 80s, so I mean,
yeah.
it wasn't great,
Yeah.
but it's pretty cool.
It's pretty cool. It makes a lot of horsepower.
Yeah,
for
it
the
makes
time.
it's very respectable for especially for like the 80s smog era.
Oh, yeah.
You
I
know,
have no idea what you do if it breaks.
you don't.
I got
Just
You put an
you get
LT
this catalog from Rydell.
I got this
And
catalog.
you get what's that on the front there, Robbie? That's
a
you get the new
LT5.
LT5. There you
Oh,
go.
there you go.
There you go.
No, I think maybe that's why it's LT1 powered.
Yeah.
Yeah,
broke.
sure.
It might be, it might be.
There's no parts for them. Don't.
So,
Now I'm just shopping.
I don't remember if I had any other pictures in there from the car corral stuff. I guess we'll find out as we go. I remember there specifically being a Dodge Rampage,
Nice.
which is the little trucklet thing. It's like the El Camino. That is not in the car corral, Robbie. But that's fine. We can go to it.
You don't have pictures. I'm
Next
just saying.
picture. This is like a picture tour of Iola for everybody. And
That's
if you're listening, then it sucks to suck. Robbie loves Corvair vans.
I do.
I love Corvair van trucks. I'm sure that one was a reasonably priced thing, and that's why I took a picture of it, but I can't remember.
We're going to assume that it
Nice.
was, and
Let's
it's
go.
upsetting that we
Let's
didn't
go
buy
with
it.
$1,200.
Nice.
Just a random number out of the air.
That's a good deal.
I would have had to been walked away at 1,200.
Really?
Hell yeah!
The fuck?
If it's in running
Dude,
and driving
that's-
condition, someone would
Which I
have
don't
to
know
walk.
if that one is.
If I said that, no one would be surprised. But I don't think
don't
there's anybody who's not surprised by Robbie.
I don't even
saying
understand.
They're awesome.
Like I'm not. I can't even begin to understand.
That. Can't even fathom
why.
why
Like, if we
anybody
walked up-
or why
no,
Robbie.
Why Robbie? Like if
Oh,
we
okay.
walked up to
Yeah,
that
no,
and
I'm
it was
with you on that.
$1,200 and he was like looking at it like, like he was gonna buy it, I'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? If Adam did that, I'd be like, yeah, let's figure out how to get home. You know what I mean? Like, but if Robbie was like, I'd be like, dude, did you fall down or something and like smash your head on?
Yeah,
on the
like a bunch
concrete?
of
No,
times.
I'm with Michael on this one. I'm totally with. I don't understand why you
Adam's
would
dad,
love it. Yeah,
like
no, my dad's super
majority-
not okay with it.
really, it's not okay. With it?
No, he's not into them. But I would take either the Corvair or the Econoline. I love the flat-nosed vans.
They're
for some
awesome.
reason. They're great.
I like the Econoline better.
I think that I would choose the Econoline just because it's not the Corvair,
Sure,
Yeah.
and I don't know that I want to deal with the air-cooled, like mid-engined weirdness.
don't do it.
Yeah, that'd be a trap.
It's not worth it.
But yeah, I think.
Wait,
they're
that thing
cool.
doesn't even have wheels. It's sitting on a trailer.
No, it's for sure not a running, driving thing, Robbie.
Oh, then
Would you still give him $1,200?
No.
It's like a serious project.
If it was $500,
Yeah, you'd have to walk me away from that.
I don't get it, man.
$500? Hell yeah.
He
I spent way more and gotten
On
way
worse.
less.
he could get a couple of railroad ties and set that down at the end of his driveway and call it yard art, and people would be
You
into
could
it.
probably still get it in a shop.
I could fit it in the shop.
You've changed, man.
Thanks, man.
Oh, I was saying to Booney that he's changed. I've changed, I guess. He's now a resident redneck.
Oh?
Huh?
I don't own a GM product anymore.
Oh, okay.
I sold the Camaro. It's gone. Camaro's gone. I'm only a GM fan by
that.
No, I'm only a GM fan by proxy because I just have a GM engine in a Japanese car.
Right.
He's the guy.
I'm also the Nissan guy.
He's got a V8 through cheap exhaust.
I'm just saying.
It's the best sound.
Things change.
Yeah, well, what can you do?
I
think I can give Robbie a run for his money, though. I have more broken down cars in my driveway than Robbie does. That's pretty redneck.
This is the redneck show.
Do you?
I have two.
He doesn't have broken down cars in his
He's
driveway.
got one that doesn't work.
They're not in his.
No, well,
they're not in his driveway.
the Z
They're
would be
hidden
running if I would have had to been pulled away from that.
Those are also hidden away in a building. Mine are on my driveway.
Yeah, everything's got closed doors. The only thing that's in my driveway is my trailer. Yeah, that's next to the shop.
fair enough.
And the trees.
Anyway, what's next, Robbie? What else do I not remember looking at? Oh,
It's a little
Nice.
pedal car.
so you don't know. This is like one of those little
It's a
rides that you see in the mall, but it looks like a really old Indy car, and it was super, super cool, and I wanted it, but it, like everything that is like this, crazy money.
I'm sure it's worth.
I don't remember
all of it.
what it was, but it was huge money. It was well into the 4-digit range.
You could buy
for
the
one of these
actual
little,
car
like,
for that price.
Ride-ons. Yeah, probably.
You put the quarter in and it shakes a couple times,
Yeah, it
and
was
your kid cries and
Rocks back and forth a few times, and
Yep.
yeah,
the kid hits his teeth on the metal steering wheel. Yeah.
Back in the day when
yeah.
kids were men,
My kid likes riding the
you got
ones in the
fucking
mall.
hurt.
When we
Your
go
parents
to,
came over and said, "Stop being a bitch," and you
Yeah.
know that was that. You weren't suing anybody
poured
or
some
calling
Budweiser on it and called it a
calling
day.
the teacher or whatever else.
when we go to the mall, I have to prove to Logan that I have quarters before he'll go in the mall.
That's funny.
Otherwise, he'll like try to drag me back.
I feel like
to
you're
the
getting
van.
hustled.
Yeah. Oh, I am for sure. He's not stupid, which is really annoying sometimes.
Yeah.
I mean, it's great, but it's also
Thought you were gonna stay stupid.
it's also kind of annoying. I mean, you know, it is what it
He
is.
just walks around all by himself. He just fucking leaves. What's that about?
Yeah.
selfish kid.
He used to just stay where we left him.
The doorknob on my front door is really shitty and really hard to open, but I don't want to fix it because then he'll leave.
He'll escape.
Yeah.
It's child protective. You pay a lot of money for those child locks.
Yeah.
It's the same shit.
I just have a broken doorknob.
It's all
Same,
good.
Same.
Yeah.
What's next, Robbie?
That's fun.
Yeah, so this was an
damn,
air-cooled
son.
Beetle kit car
I'm
thing.
out. You lost me immediately.
Yeah, so it was like,
We could fix that.
I don't know what it is, but it looks fucking sick.
It's like a Bricklin copy or
It's
something.
kind of like,
I couldn't even
yeah, or
tell
like
you.
an over-exaggerated Bradley GT.
Yep. It's got
Sure.
the gull-wing doors.
Like it was probably made by Bradley still, but it's just like
Different.
turned up to 11. Like the nose is really long and sloping, and
I'd pay
complete
$500 for that.
interior. Looked like it was probably a rolling chassis, just needed a motor.
That's how I buy all my cars.
So yeah, Robbie could buy this one.
Yeah, then you'd have your kid car that you want, and
Yeah,
it'd be all
yeah,
set.
it's basically
you
the
gotta go to
same
a swap
thing.
meet.
It's basically the same thing as the one.
Yeah, I
you
can't.
want.
I think I'm not allowed to bring home any more cars, but if I bring home parts of a car,
Yeah,
Until you
it's
make a
not
car?
the
yeah,
same.
that's how I've been
It's
doing
different.
it. No, I just got this
Absolutely
box. I just got this box of parts. I don't.
And they
was
fill
cheap.
the shelf, and then all of a sudden you just keep putting it in the
tell her
car.
that you just tell her that you got a good deal on it and you can make money.
I got a steal of a deal on this box
You
of
don't-
parts.
You don't have to tell her when you plan on selling
that's
it.
fine.
You just have to tell her you're going to make money on it.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's great.
I mean, how often does she come in the shop?
Yeah, about every day.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say, like, maybe you just bring it in there and don't say anything.
Because if I'm working in the garage with the shop or the door open, then she'll come see what I'm doing.
Yeah, see, I was going to say, maybe just like one day, 3 years from now, she comes out there and goes, "Hey, what the hell is that?" It's like, we've had that the
We've had
whole
that
time.
for
Like,
that's
forever.
for
What
years.
is
Been here
this?
for years.
Jesus, you
What are
fucking
you-
blind? What's going on? Like, and they just play it off.
Robbie's got a separate insurance agent for keeping stuff on the down low.
I'm in charge of that.
Right, yeah.
There you go. You can slide it in. No one will know.
Yeah.
As long as you didn't look at premium statements.
No, that's me.
You're good to go
Yep,
then, Robbie.
except when it comes to the tax season, then she's like, "What the fuck is all this shit?"
Robbie's got a P.O. box where he sends all this stuff, registrations for extra cars she's not
Yeah,
supposed to
exactly.
know about.
Yep.
Be great.
This is like how to get a divorce 101 is what this show is.
She knew what she was getting into. This is not new.
Well, then you shouldn't have to hide it from her.
Yeah, then you should just
really
bring it
don't.
home.
I don't ever hide it.
No,
like
it's
when
not
I bought
worth
that
it.
trailer, I was like, "Yeah, we'll go look at it." I had it home
Brought
before.
it home.
Yeah, I brought
Yeah.
it home before she had a chance to look at it.
Sorry.
Can I tell a funny story? I'll throw myself under the bus since we're talking about this.
It's our favorite thing.
So I've been seeing somebody for a while.
Ooh.
I didn't tell her about the Porsche trip because it was kind of a new relationship. It was sort of new,
amazing.
and like, how do you? Okay, when you're dating
How do you
somebody,
explain
how
that
do you
to
explain that to
somebody
somebody?
who hasn't been with you for
Right.
a long time, like me
I'm
and Katie?
getting on an airplane to buy a Porsche to bring it home. Like, nothing about that sounds like not douchey. So it's
Right.
like, I'll just switch the Camaro and the Porsche. She'll never know.
She noticed day one.
She noticed
dude.
it. No. Well, the one time she logs into Instagram, people are like, "Oh my God, you bought it." And she's like, "Are you fucking stupid?" She's like, "Where'd this car come from?" I was like, "Well,
Remember?
Fun story.
no, it was all in one day and she was gone that day."
Yeah.
And so I just 5 a.m. I got on an airplane and I came home with a Porsche and I was like, I got away with it. No one's ever gonna know.
Everybody knows.
That's amazing. You can't hide stuff like that. You're a low-key internet celebrity.
That's true. Well, it's just rush. Like I said, she come by. Oh, what's that? Oh, that was there before.
Before we met, yeah. I've had
Because
that.
it's not like there's an
Just
extra
been-
car here.
I've been stashing that at Dad's house.
I swapped a car for a car, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
and they're both blue, So I was like, I'm the dumbass apparently. Rightfully
see,
so.
I
like-
seriously thought you drove that to her place the next day for family dinner.
No,
Oh,
no.
that's awesome.
See, Katie would just like roll her eyes at me and be like, whatever. So she wouldn't even think it's that weird. She'd just think I'm stupid. But she thinks that anyway.
Oh no. I'm sure she thought I was stupid.
Well, yeah, but
The only question I get is, how the fuck are you going to pay for this?
that's future Robbie's problem.
I don't know. It's
It's here now.
financing for 6 months.
Robbie can't even do what I do. It's just like, I'm just going to stay at work longer. It's fine.
It's here now.
Yeah,
Can't send it back.
It's mine.
it's fine. It's whatever.
I think it's funny now. Just
It's
personally.
good times.
So,
I see you bought something while you were there.
yeah, so actually I bought a couple of things. It's real small things. No,
Oh, yeah.
nothing big. What Robbie has pulled up here, it's like a Model A or Model T body,
Uh-huh.
like stretched out into a dragster. It's a little Hot Wheels, right? It's got two engines in the front of it. And I believe that the Hot Wheels name for it is What a Drag.
That's like a pun.
But anyway, when I was just let it happen, Michael. I didn't make it up. I'm just stuck with it, okay?
Carry on.
When I was a little kid, I had one of these, and it was like my favorite Hot Wheels. Right? This
Yep,
was
yep.
this was the one for me. And even though my mom still has that one at my house, at her house.
Yeah.
I've wanted one for Logan, like since he was born, and I've always been looking. Like every time I go to swap meets, I'll always kind of just scan over the Hot Wheels because
Right.
there's always some guy. There's always a couple of people that have Hot Wheels, bunches of them. Some of those people think they're collectibles and not toys, and they're priced accordingly. Some of those people are realistic about things. Some of those people are clearly selling their adult child's old toys. It's a little bit of a mix mash of everything. But I finally found the one I was looking for, right? Like, I've legit been looking at every swap meet I've gone to since I knew I was going to have a kid. Essentially 4 years, because he's 3 plus the 9 months of being in a female. But
Nice.
I finally found it. And I was so pumped about it, right? And I was like, just wait, Dad. We'll walk by this next Hot Wheels booth because there's one like 3 down. And I was like, there's going to be another one there. Sure enough.
Did you buy that one too, or did
No,
you pass?
I didn't. Okay, so mine was orange. The body was orange.
Yep.
And that one's like a silver gray color.
Yeah, with some
the
blue
next
flames.
The next one was orange. But I
Did you
was like,
consider buying it?
I did, but I was like, and they were both only $1. It was fine. It wouldn't have been
Yeah.
that big a deal, but I was like, screw it. This was the hunt. The hunt is over. I need to move on with my
Yep.
life. But I'm super pumped about it.
Yeah.
So
That's fun.
Nostalgia.
it is cool.
and
I
stuff.
was excited.
Nostalgia's good.
It was in the packaging when I got it.
That a boy.
And,
Take that shit
and
out. Fuck those collectors.
Yeah,
dude.
and I said, screw everybody, and I took it right out. And I know that there's at least 2 people who are
Appalled.
yelling at their their radios, their phones, whatever, right now. And I'm sorry.
Was the orange one in its box?
Hell no.
So you left the one that wasn't in a box, and then
but this one's Logan's.
That's the thing. That one's Logan's.
But you could have kept this one in the box.
No. Because, like, dude, I could have just taken the one that I have at my mom's house, and no one would have cared.
No.
But it's the thrill of the hunt.
What's the next one?
And then the thing is, like, if I left it in the package, then I couldn't give it to my kid. And if I couldn't give it to my...
That's what the orange one's for.
No, that one's not his.
No, the other orange one.
Oh, no, I wasn't going to do that either. That one was both... They were both in their package.
Oh, see, that's...
They were both in packaging.
Oh, you could have bought two of them and taken them both out of packages. You could have been that guy. You could have been the guy that waits in line for the new iPhone then smashes it.
I'm not quite at that point yet, Robbie. I don't, like, hold any ill will against these collectors.
Why not?
I do.
I mean, you do you, man. It's fun.
That's why he drives his Porsche as hard as he does.
I mean, I haven't seen it at a track day yet, so.
I'm getting another set of wheels.
Oh,
Getting serious.
TT for next year. Yeah.
Nah, I don't want to run it in TT.
Yes, you do.
Nah, not really.
I'll put you where you need to.
No, the Fiat is
perfect.
It's way too much fun for that.
Yeah.
I know.
It's like exceptional amounts of fun, the Fiat.
Yeah, and it's just like, it's not fast enough to be, like, dangerous. It's just fast enough to be fun.
Yeah, but once you get sick of that, then it's Porsche time.
Now, let me just put a supercharger on the Fiat.
Yeah.
It's built for that. It's built for capacity.
For power.
Additional power capacity.
So, yeah, I was really, really excited about finally finding that. It was, and then Logan, I give it to him and he was kind of excited and then moved on with his life because he's 3. Next picture Robbie's got pulled up here.
Yes.
We've talked about these like a million years ago. It's like an old hot rodder thing they put with my dad. I didn't realize there were all these colors. My dad just calls them
blue.
My dad just calls them blue dots. They put them in the center of their tail lights on their hot rods. And this is kind of a thing that they do. They're not legal, but nobody knows that. It's one of those things. Like, a cop's never going to pull you over because you have blue dots on your taillights, but technically they're not legal. I just thought it was cool that, like, this guy had this display of, you could buy the whole thing. Like, that was what was for sale. He wasn't selling the blue dots. He was selling the whole thing. Oh. And I thought it was cool. Like, that looks neat. It'd be great on a wall.
How much was it?
I don't know. I didn't look.
$1,200.
I don't care.
I owe only $10, but I assume that sign has nothing to do with this reflector.
I don't know. I don't have any idea. I don't remember. That was weeks ago, Robbie.
Carry on.
So, we always talk about how we can never find non-American muscle car crap, right? Uh-huh. At swap meets. Somebody had a Jaguar dual overhead cam inline 6 head just hanging out on a table.
That's going to make someone's day. Someone's going to walk.
Someone's going to piss
like,
themselves.
This is exactly what I've been looking for.
That is the head off an E-Type.
That's crazy. What do you want for it?
I don't know. I didn't look.
$1,200.
$250.
Damn, son, that seems like a deal.
I don't. For all I know, it's hollow, but it looks sick on a wall, even if it is. Like, for all I know, it's a bare head with a valve cover on it.
Just come walking back home with it. It was a steal of a deal. I don't know.
I had to buy it,
dude.
They were giving them away.
My dad and I. So my dad's got this big wagon that he bought at Menards last year when he went to Iola, and it's like just this like yard work wagon.
Oh yeah,
not like a radio flyer, but like a big yard work wagon for gardening and stuff like that. Air filled tires, the whole 9 yards, and it's pretty sizable. And the first day that we were there, we filled it like beyond the brim. We almost had to go back to the truck to empty it. And my dad and I, like when we were back at the truck for the end of the day, we're like unloading it, like. What are we? We cannot be unsupervised at these places. Like, why didn't we buy any of this crap?
You need to have your own swap meet to sell all things. You're like, why did I buy this?
The only thing that we bought that made sense, and I don't think there's pictures of it, so I'll talk about it now. The only thing that like was legitimately needed is my dad's my dad's altered thing that he drag races. It has like period correct wheels on the front.
Yep.
But then like these terrible 80s like dual 5-spoke American racing wheels on the back.
Right. I hate those wheels so much.
Completely ruins the thing. And he's been looking for just the right offset and width and spoke pattern, like this certain wheel that he was looking for that's period correct. And every time we found them, they've either been the wrong bolt pattern or they've been the wrong offset or they haven't been wide enough or whatever. And finally we found the set, but they were a little more than my dad wanted to pay. And I was like, dude, just Just pony up. Like what choice? You've been looking for over a year now, and how many? I mean, like you've driven to how many swap meets with basically the expressed purpose of finding these wheels. You've spent more money in gas looking for these damn things. Just buy them.
Did he?
You know? Yeah, he did.
Nice.
So we bought those. So that was one of the things we bought. And then the rest of it was just kind of like random bullshit.
Like this pull behind sled.
We didn't buy that. But I thought it was cool. Apparently,
it's got a windshield and everything.
I think it's Harley Davidson branded. Because they used to make snowmobiles, I guess.
Really? Shows what I know.
So
it's probably worth some money.
I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm sure it's worth crazy money. So
it doesn't even have seatbelts. It's perfect.
Oh yeah, duh.
That thing was like so much fun.
50, 60 years old. They didn't even know what a seatbelt was.
Back when men were men.
Right. Children died.
And women were men.
Everyone was men.
You got a car accident, you died.
Children got killed and pulled behind
nobody
sleighs.
felt sorry for you.
No. That was their fault.
Yeah, exactly. Shouldn't have been driving like that, you dumbass.
Yeah.
Survival of the fittest. It's fine.
Now it's just survival of the fattest.
I'm just trying to keep them alive.
That's rough. That is rough.
What is this monstrosity?
So, this is a Thunderbird.
I was going to say LeBaron, but
no, it's a Thunderbird. It's the generation of Thunderbird that Michael had.
Oh, yeah.
That's what Lizzie had?
With yes, it is.
Oh, I didn't know Lizzie had one of those.
Yeah, Lizzie had one of those.
Yeah, 'cause I got tasked with checking the oil. I barely knew her. Dad's like, you got to check the oil. I'm like,
why is this my job?
It's your car.
Men aren't men anymore. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to get my hands dirty.
No, I'm saying he should have been checking the oil.
Why should I check her oil?
Hey, let's move on. That was really hard for me to stop. Let's keep going.
Exactly.
That hurt really bad. I feel a chest pain.
Every single person had a joke they wanted to tell Robbie right then and there.
Yep.
We didn't leave it alone. So literally 4 years ago or 3 years ago, whatever it was, when we talked about kit cars in like episode 14 or something like that, and we talked about bad kit cars, Michael brought this exact car up, and we tried finding pictures of it at that point, and we couldn't. So this is like, what is this?
It's a 49 Ford or Mercury front end conversion on a 97 Thunderbird.
Right. And
why would anybody do that?
It doesn't look right at all.
Nobody
it's
has
so
any fucking idea.
Bad. And I'll bet you 90% of them are just like this, where the whole body is in primer except for the roof, which is the only unchanged part of that car. It's still factory painted.
Awful.
The back is really bad too.
Yeah. It was up against that trailer, so I didn't really bother going around. But it's awful.
It's the worst.
It's way worse than I thought it would look.
It's like when people
awful.
had the kind of square body 1500s and they were putting the 50s front ends on them.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't make any
sense. There's one of
all.
those down the street from my house. It's a dually, and he drives it around all the time. And it doesn't quite work. And of course, the front end is in primer, and the rest of the truck is red because that's how 80% of them are. They bought the conversion kit, which was way too much money, and they didn't have enough money to finish painting it. Mm-hmm. But whatever, man. It's atrocious. But somebody's gonna buy it
eventually. Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like someone's gonna think that's
and
rad
not finish it
and buy it. So yeah, I bet it's been that way for 15 years.
Ugh.
So yeah, it's weird. So this was my stupid purchase.
No.
Nice.
It's a great purchase.
It is a great purchase. So we were walking along, and my dad had stopped to look at something else in another booth, and I stopped and was looking at this. And at first I didn't even realize that it was a Porsche. So This is a little Power Wheels, like electric ride-on.
Oh, it's electric?
Yeah, it's electric.
Oh.
It has an electric motor in the back. It has 3 little buttons on like a foot panel in the driving compartment, which I'm guessing are low, high, and reverse.
Yeah.
It does not run right now. I'm hoping that it just needs a battery. I haven't had time to address it. But he didn't. He's like, oh, I don't have a charger or anything like that. And I was like, well, what do you want for this thing? You know, because I just thought it was cool. And at first I didn't even realize it was a Porsche.
Nice.
Right.
And I was just like, what do you want for this thing? And he was like, oh, $25. So I'm at, like, it doesn't run. I don't have the charger. And I was like, I got a $20 bill. Like, is that? Yeah, sure, fine, whatever, you know. And so
neat.
We took it, and I put it on the little wagon cart thing, and as I'm loading it on the cart, it dawns on me, this thing's a damn Porsche.
Nice.
You guys are both. You guys.
We're just it's the same.
So yeah, now Logan has his first Porsche. It's made by a company called like Duesenberry Toys or Duesen something Toys or
Dope.
Thornberry. I don't remember what it is. It's some toy manufacturer. They apparently have been making things for a long time. They're really high end when they were making them.
Yep.
I only found one of this specific thing, like any reference to that specific car on the internet. The Tide logos are OEM.
Yeah, from the factory.
Yeah, like that's not like somebody.
So you're saying that's natural patina on your Porsche?
Yes.
Nice.
That's not like they had this little orange Porsche and someone got a hold of some Tide stickers and put it on there. Like that's original. I posted on a modified Power Wheels group that I'm in. I'm like, does anybody know anything about this? I'm hoping I can put a battery in it, get it running. Does anybody know, like, is it worth anything? Is there anything I need to know about it? Like, does anybody know anything about it at all? And one person posted a picture of theirs, which is like a NASCAR.
Yep.
And it's was Trident
Okay.
live read.
Oh, weird.
Yeah. And they were like, oh, yeah, these things are worth a lot of money. Like, be careful with it. But that was all they would tell me. And then literally everybody else who made a post on there had some stupid fucking joke about eating Tide Pods. And I was like, all you fuckers are
Very helpful. Thank you.
assholes. And I don't. Facebook has turned into forums.
Yes.
So, but anyway, I found like a website that I think. So they try to claim themselves as like an antiques NADA. But basically what they are is archived eBay ads.
Yeah, what
and
things have
it'll
sold
tell
for.
you how much it sold for. But you have to sign up.
Oh.
And you get the first month or the first 7 items you can look at for free. And then after that, you have to pay a monthly charge of $22 a month to use their service.
That's too much.
And I was going to sign up for it.
Yeah, use your one free one.
Use the free one just to check it, but they require that I put in my credit card
Then no.
before I can look at it, and I already know what's going to happen. They're going to charge me,
it.
and I'm going to, even though I canceled, and I'm going to have to call them, and it's going to take me 6 months of paying $22 a month for them to finally stop charging me for it, and it's not that important to me.
No.
So part of me was like, screw it, I'll fix it, get it running, throw it on eBay for $100 reserve. And if it sells, it sells. If it doesn't, it doesn't. But then I also decided that it looks like an epic pain in the ass to ship, and Logan thinks it's super rad. So you know
Keep
what?
it.
I don't care what it's worth. I'm keeping it.
Yeah, keep your Porsche.
Yeah.
Enjoy
Nice. Enjoy your Porsche.
Every kid needs a Porsche.
Don't feed into that speculator lifestyle. You're buying it, selling it. No, man.
no.
Just
Just
gotta
you
use
gotta
it.
drive your
That's
Porsche, man.
being the person I hate, really.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
yeah,
You're just trying to
gotta-
flip a car. Just
Yeah,
to
yeah.
make a
If
profit.
you're trying to flip a Porsche, man. Talked about you the other day. People make me sick.
It's true. It's true. So I'm going to keep it.
Good.
I haven't had time to fix it. Logan likes to just sit in it.
Yeah,
He
there
calls
you
it
go.
Orange Car. I can't get him to call it Porsche.
Nice.
Makes me sad.
We can work on it. Yep.
Robbie's got. There's another picture in there somewhere of him sitting in the driveway, and he took all 4 of his little ride-on things that he's got.
Nice.
So he did that. I did not do that.
He started his own race.
He lined them up on the line on a concrete cut line on my driveway. Lined them up and then sat in the one on the end and tried to get me to sit in one of the other ones so that we could race.
Nice.
So did you beat him?
I didn't do that because I don't fit in it.
Did you crash into him?
Yeah, I would have.
Take him out?
No, we would have beat him for sure.
Did you Ayrton Senna him?
Nah, I didn't do that.
Whoa.
What?
Oh, they're talking about like Ayrton Senna crashing and dying.
No. He's still here. He's not dead, obviously.
Yeah.
He's sitting right
Come on,
here.
man.
I mean, we got
My
flat
kid's-
him,
my
but
kid's
he's not
still alive.
exactly.
I didn't go to
Yeah, the
jail.
kid's fine. I'm just saying, him and
Yeah,
Prost, they're doing.
Yeah,
Maybe I should have called him Alan Prost or whatever.
There you go.
Fun,
That would've made more
fun
sense.
random Ayrton Senna fact. One of Jabez's racing buddies, his wife is ex-girlfriend of Ayrton Senna.
Neat.
Totally random.
That's cool.
His wife is ex-girlfriend Ayrton Senna.
Yeah.
I had to do that.
Yeah.
Back
So
that
she
up a little
dated
bit.
him before they
Man, I wouldn't fucking drive around her at all, ever.
You suck.
You
at
drive. I'm not driving.
Yeah. So, yeah, my kid's, he's ruined. Completely and totally ruined.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
It's fine. It's just an obsession that ruins your entire life. It's fine.
Financial stability is way overrated. Having a garage full of parts is way better.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. He's got a Porsche already. He's doing
Nice.
great.
He's doing great. He's ahead of
His net value is probably higher than mine.
Well, yeah, with a Porsche like that, of course it is.
It's a rare collectible Porsche.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's got
absolutely.
natural
It's
patina.
air-cooled.
It's air cooled. It's air cooled and electric. These are all like the buzzwords for
Yeah,
cars.
exactly.
It's great.
Nice.
So, speaking of things that, or speaking of
Why is that there?
of selling European and other car that's not American car parts at swap meets, somebody had magnesium
Yeah.
Ferrari wheels, like real
Yeah.
magnesium Ferrari. He wanted, it was in the $2,000 range.
This one says 1,200.
Is that what it was? Okay, well,
Everything's $1,200 at this swap meet.
So, what was the best part about it? I'm pretty sure those are like the 308 era.
Yeah.
I
Would you agree with that?
I would buy that. Yep.
There was a 308 in.
Oh damn, son.
There was a 308 in the car corral with the wrong wheels on it, like aftermarket
Bro,
wheels.
man.
I'd be harassing that dude every fucking hour.
I know, right? It was hilarious to me. I said to my dad, because we saw those first, and then we were over in the car corral, and I walked over to that car and I'm looking at it specifically to see if it had the right wheels on it, because there's some like 3DSM or something like that. It's one of these car brands they make. One of these European wheel manufacturers makes like a rep of that wheel, and that's what he had on there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, lame.
And I was like, and I said to my dad, I was like, those Ferrari wheels we saw earlier, those are the right wheels for this car. These are like aftermarket reps. My dad's like, where's that guy? Right?
Yeah, if you have that car, you have to go buy those wheels.
Right.
Oh, if those were only $1,200, you bet your ass I'd be over there buying those
Yep.
for $1,000.
It says
Dude,
it
that's
says
gotta-
OVO.
Yeah,
Like,
I'd,
legitimately,
like this is the only time you're going to sell these. I'm going to give you $1,000 in cash.
legitimately buying those for $1,000 to put on your car, assuming you don't have the right set at home, which if I was trying to sell the car, I would have put the right set on it. So I assume he doesn't have it.
That's a safe assumption.
Those wheels have got to be worth more than $1,000 to the guy who owns the car.
Oh,
if
yeah.
he's trying to sell it, right? Because that's the Ferrari world.
Yeah, you know
right?
how Ferrari buyers are. No
Yeah.
one will buy that car with aftermarket wheels on.
Right. But like that $1,000 set of wheels is like $5,000 added to the price tag of that car.
I would think so.
Yeah.
You know
Yeah,
what
he
I
had
mean?
to buy those.
Yeah,
There's
kinda
there's
where I
no
was at
reason that
on
those
it.
went home with the guy that brought them.
That's kind of where I was at on it. They look super rad though. I would put those on my car if I had them, just because.
Probably some goofy ass bolt
there's-
pattern like
there's-
5x138 or something.
Yeah, and they're also magnesium, which means if I curb them, they'll just
Ignite and burst into flames.
combust. That's why Michael has his magnesium wheels on a shelf.
Nice. Nah, I fucking use them.
Do you?
Hell yeah, dude.
I thought they were just like up on the
I think
shelf.
I think I brought them.
That's
I think I brought them to
Topeka?
Topeka. Yeah, I think I had them.
hilarious.
I can't remember which ones are the magnesium ones.
The light ones.
So I like
Yeah,
to roll
the
the
light
dice.
ones.
The roll the dice on that shit. That way, if
better
the car,
if-
if
it's
it
better
does
if you
explode,
don't know.
right? If it does explode, then it's like, that was
this
that was
time.
Those were the
Russian
magnesium
roulette. Those are the
wheels.
magnesium wheels.
Don't you need like a certain kind of fire extinguisher to put that out? Isn't that
Yeah,
like
but
you don't
they
pour
burn
water
special.
on
Yeah,
it type?
it's like super bright and hot.
If you're a track official, don't listen.
They were not magnesium.
I'm actually not going to run those anymore, like any of those wheels anymore. But that's a different
Yeah.
different topic for a different day. Inside of a building, they had like some special collections and clubs for the car show. Mm-hmm. And because we're in Wisconsin, the Great White North, of course, they do ice drags up there.
Of course
Right.
they do.
So there was a little corner there where they had some guys had their ice drag racing cars, and somebody brought this Yugo with a small block Chevy in it,
Yeah.
and it had gigantic slicks in the back with studs in it. They were like full drag slicks
Yep.
with studs.
Huh.
And there was like a rear engine dragster behind it. I mean, these guys were
same
like
thing.
way serious about their ice racing. But that Yugo looks terrifying.
Certain death.
The back wheels are almost touching.
Yeah, the picture makes it look like that's happening.
I mean, that's like,
What's really weird is it looks like a stock interior.
it looked like a stock interior for the most part. I mean, it was a deal, man. But
I think there's a cage.
yeah, there was a
no,
little cage. It
but
wasn't
stock
much.
seats.
It wasn't much. And then because those are not rear wheel drive, I don't think they're rear wheel drive.
Those are definitely not rear-wheel drive, Adam.
If they
It's been
are,
converted
I have
because
no
of the
idea. I
small
have
block.
no idea if
they
I
are,
know.
if they are, they don't have like the monster transmission that a small block Chevy has.
Right.
And so he had like his own custom transmission tunnel in there. So I'm pretty sure when you sat in there, you had to like sit kind of cantered towards the outside of the car so that your feet
That's
could
fine.
get on the pedal box.
It should be fine.
It looked like a deal. And it looked like one of those where it'd be real easy to stab the gas when you meant to stab the brake.
Nice.
Death machine.
It's perfect.
It's on the ice.
Robbie would love it.
I would.
At least when it catches on fire, it'll put itself out over time.
Yeah, eventually. You got a bunch of fire trucks.
Yeah, fire trucks were a thing here for some reason. This was this thing, like, so it's a fire truck body, right? But it had like drag radials in the back and a big block Chevy in the front, and it like just must have had like
a hot rod thing.
Yeah, it was a deal. There's another one in there that's like an original like 30s fire truck. He wanted $6,000 for it.
I have no idea where.
Come on, that's
Yeah,
worth
it's
taking it to your local town.
I know. Well, because my kid's
4th of July
obsessed-
parade, isn't
my
it?
kid's obsessed with fire trucks. Loves fire trucks. And so I took a picture of it and I sent it to Katie. And I was like, "This is worth $6,000, right? Like Logan would love this, right? Like we should buy this." She was not into it.
Party
She's no
pooper.
fun, really. So, fire trucks are cool. No,
Like I said, it'd be easier to ask for forgiveness so it was already at your house.
what would you do with a 1930s fire truck?
Whatever you want. You can literally do whatever you want with it. It's yours.
I mean, I guess.
Run around town pretending like you're putting out fires.
Or putting out real fires.
I'm here, guys.
I think Top Gear did an episode about this, and they set their own fires. I think
Yeah,
that's what
yeah,
you'd
yeah,
have to do.
yeah,
You have
yeah.
to set a fire and then go put the fire out.
Yeah.
I believe that's called arson.
No, but if you put it out, that balances it out.
I don't think that's how the law sees
I think that's how it works. As long as there's no damage.
Pretty sure I've heard of firefighters who become arsonists that still go to jail.
Let's put it this way. Agree to disagree, but consult your local attorney.
Again, it's
enough.
also easier to ask your attorney, how am I not in trouble, than it is to
I
ask
don't
for
think
permission.
that's true. I think in that case,
It is
you
easy-
do want to ask for permission
No.
instead of forgiveness.
It is easier to ask your lawyer, how do I get out of this, than it is to ask your lawyer for
Who's
permission.
your lawyer,
no,
Johnny
no.
Cochran?
When you're asking your lawyer that question, you're wording this incorrectly, Robbie. It's how much money is it going to cost me to get out of this?
Yeah, see?
Same.
It's all in the wording.
Nah, it's fine. I don't know what else you want to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. What else you got there, Robbie?
Got this
We don't need to go
moon
through all-
lander.
Oh, we actually do need to talk about this thing. So I took a picture of the for sale sign specifically for this. It is 6x6. It says it has a Nissan 2.4 liter in it,
Nice.
which I can only assume means it's KA powered.
No. It's a Nissan 4-cylinder.
Oh yeah, it just said 4-cylinder. That's right. Which means I can only assume it's KA powered.
It's definitely not an SR20 because
Doesn't
it
Well,
ran,
Yeah,
right?
it doesn't
Well,
run.
it didn't. I mean, he didn't have it started,
Let's assume it doesn't run.
but
so
it
it might be an
doesn't say.
SR20.
It doesn't say doesn't run either.
True.
Is that $4,100 or just a
I
screwed
think
up
that's
Ford?
what it was. Yeah,
I'll give him
dude, it was
$4 for it.
6-wheel drive, and look how rad it looks.
What do you do with it?
It's a.
You drive it around on your.
You take it to the golf course.
On your acreage.
It's a golf course or golf cart.
You do not take that on a golf course.
You take
Yes,
the-
you do. It's
no,
a golf cart.
No, the toughs would be all upset about your
No, you
stupid golf
can't.
No, it's
cart.
got
Take
the got the cushiony
Dude, you
wheels
can't
and
take
tires.
that.
Now I'm not worried about that. It's,
No, you
it's
take
like,
that-
This is an outrage. You know what I
You
mean? Like
take
those
that-
people.
You take that hunting. That'll get you out to your deer
Hunting,
stand.
I could see.
Like no matter where your deer stand is, that'll get you there. You
Is this amphibious?
Yes. You forge
Nah, you
streams
can't-
with
you
that
can't
bad
float.
boy.
Can
I
it
don't know
float?
if it'll float.
Crawl through the mud.
If it floats, I'm interested at $4,100. If I can drive
I could be
into
s-
a body of water and float across
With
it,
enough expandable foam, anything can float.
He's not wrong.
If we learned anything from Top Gear, it's that.
This could be $4,100.
did they prove
for
that
the
though?
phone.
I mean, they made it across the English Channel, didn't they?
Like on the fifth try after three vehicles.
Hey, you've never made it across the English
can do it.
Channel.
That's true.
We'll do it. You'll
Well, we
do it
can do
fast
it now. We
So-
can cross Robbie's pond with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just thought it was cool. Like if I was gonna, like razors and side by sides are the hot
Sure.
thing right now.
This is better.
I'd take that any day of the week. 6-wheel drive looks super rad. I like it. It's a good. That's like
Wait, does it turn like a skid steer?
probably.
Yeah.
awesome.
Put a snowplow on the front of that and plow your driveway.
You could do that.
God, that'd be a great thing.
That'd be a great snowplow.
I just think like this is the weird shit you go to swap meets to find.
That's true.
That doesn't exist anywhere but Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
You know what I mean?
Wild place. It's a lot of beer up there.
They make great
And
cheese
cheese,
curds.
yeah.
A lot of cheese, a lot of
the
beer.
cheese curds were on point at this place.
Did you get any poutine?
No, it wasn't a thing that was offered.
Son of a bitch.
I don't think I
was
went
at a
far
restaurant in
enough
Colorado
north.
that had poutine. I didn't buy it.
By the way, I've been told by watching a culinary program that it's poutine,
Poutine?
according to
Poutine?
the Canadians. And
Yeah.
if somebody disagrees with me, I don't really give a shit. So I'm just telling you.
That was his TV show's opinion of it.
Bon Appetit editor said it was poutine.
Poutine.
There you go.
It's probably French and the bunch of communists anyway. So is that it for that?
Whoa. I don't know. Is there anything else that piques your interest in there, Robbie? I don't even remember what I put
That was
on
it.
there.
I think that's all.
It's gonna be
That's
the
all
longest show
pictures?
of all time.
All right, well then let's move on with
Move
our
it on.
lives.
Did you do something else?
I did other things, yeah, absolutely.
Next week, Booney and Adam engage in jujitsu.
That will for sure not
Tune
happen.
in then.
Next week.
100%
Next Sunday.
not gonna happen.
Pretty sure we said Booney was next week. Weeks ago.
Well, I know that's why he's
Extra mad.
That's why he's extra mad.
I'm fully prepared to get up and walk out on my own.
When I had to
podcast.
text him to say that Adam was bailing, he was not a happy man. That's all I'm saying. That we couldn't do it this week because
It wasn't
Adam
really
had to
me-
do a thing.
I this has been planned for months. It's not like
No,
I
not
dropped
not
this out
not
of
this.
nowhere.
Oh no, it was this, wasn't it? Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right. It
it
was
was
this. I
this.
thought it was work. I thought you had
I missed last week's recording or the first week's recording that I
Yeah,
missed.
yeah.
The Flatham episode, and then we just skipped it all together this last week.
Yeah.
It's fine. People get over it, or they don't. Whatever.
See, like I said, he said, fuck the fans. I mean, he didn't use those exact words, but
Yeah,
it was there.
Something
That's-
you feel.
That's what happened. Speaking of shows I was not a part of, I like how you guys just like make it sound like it's totally my fault that we haven't had a road rally this year.
Well,
that
yeah,
was the,
it's not our
that
fault.
was news to me that he couldn't make the course and that it needed to probably be me that make news to me. Thanks for just dropping that on me.
Well, yeah, we're not going to take blame for that.
It's my fault. It's fine.
You were here, so it's your fault, I guess.
Yeah, whatever.
But no, I don't. I'm not supposed to make the course.
I was not aware of that.
Yeah.
And in that case, like, if you're serious about it, let's talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll figure it out.
Oh, I asked Booney. He said that he needs a rallycross director first. I said I don't think he's going to do that.
Things I don't care about.
Right. Exactly.
Rallycross.
I said I don't think that's not what he's looking for. But yeah, the road rally, I think,
I would happily put together a road rally if that's what we needed to do.
Yeah, we'll talk to
So,
Booney about it next week.
I have
After you
no-
get out of your headlock, we'll
I
talk
have
about it.
no interest in doing a rallycross.
I don't blame you for not wanting to be
I'm
the
sorry.
rallycross
I know
director.
that it's like terrible that the Rallycross Nationals is in our region and we don't have a rallycross program. But I don't know why I'm not interested in it, but I'm not. So
It's all right. We don't want you to do something you don't want to do. It's supposed to be fun.
Yeah.
I do that
You
every
gotta
week.
enjoy it.
Do that for 50 hours a week.
Yeah,
Yeah.
if I'm lucky.
60 hours a week.
So
All right, let's talk about grid life.
All right, so this week, or last week, I guess, I went to Gridlife Alpine Horizon Festival. That was the full name for it. So Tuesday afternoon, I work a full day, right?
Yep.
Full day Tuesday.
Cancel the show.
Yes, canceled the show.
Don't-
Told Booney, pound sand, I'm out of here. But like, so I was at work. Katie had dropped me off at work that day so that my vehicle was not there. And I literally just like was waiting for Adam to show up. And I knew that I didn't really want him to bring his giant rig into our parking lot.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, call me when you're a few minutes away and I'll be on the curbside. And
Be
then,
on the corner with your thumb out.
yes. And so they literally pull up in traffic with cars behind him. And like, I don't even think the bus came to a full stop. The door like swings open and I just threw my stuff in there and jumped in and off we went to Colorado. And that was a pretty good indication of how that week was going to go for me. So, first of all, Pikes Peak International Raceway. Like, so
It's all right.
the guy that there's it's like a group of guys that own it, and I think that they just use it as their own personal playground, and I think that there's two things that they love the most, and that's cars and parties.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Because like you go there and they're advertising all the events that they're going to have there this year, and there's like a truck it they call it, and it's a country music festival and truck show.
Yeah.
Pass.
And
Pass.
this weekend there's a tiny home
No.
get together,
no.
which sounds super lame. Not quite so the party life. Then they have like an event they call Americana,
Yeah.
which is like rockabilly stuff,
like rat fink stuff.
and
Are there hot rods?
Yeah, hot rods
That's
and
all.
pinup
Give that
girl
back. Yeah,
contests
I'm in.
Yeah, pinup
I'm
girls
in. You
all day.
have my interest.
and beer.
There's literally a pinup girl competition going on right now. Like
Why are we even fucking here?
It's at
Where is
Valley
it?
Junction,
It's
man.
in Valley
Like,
Junction.
Right
What?
now.
Yeah,
Like, right
this
now.
is the vintage
I hate
bike
this
night.
podcast.
This is the worst podcast.
All right, we picked the worst night to do it.
Yeah, we could be watching a pinup contest.
God damn
but
it!
in
It's
walking-
literally right down the
walking
street.
distance.
So then the other thing that this guy does is he builds ridiculous cars.
Yeah.
Like crazy, but like not like I went out and bought a McLaren, right? No, he goes out and like buys a Miata and puts a Datsun pickup truck body on it. So like if you flip through those pictures, there's a picture of a
That's
Datsun pickup
loading.
truck,
Oh, hold on.
and he put a Miata chassis underneath this thing, and it looks completely factory. It's perfect.
He just did it just because.
You can tell that Adam took this picture because the whole car is not in the frame.
Yeah, well, I was probably
It's something that's in the shadow.
because I was like, well, dude, we didn't like display it. It was just pulled out of his garage. But so then he's got like a Datsun wagon that he races in vintage racing, but apparently he decided that the Datsun underpinnings weren't good enough. Put a Miata chassis underneath it.
Wonderful.
That's just what he does. He
Puts me out of chassis into things.
There's another picture of a Miata interior there. It's really hard to see because it's really hard to get a good picture of what's going on there. But it's right-hand drive,
Yep.
and the pedals are on the left.
Nice.
Whoa.
I'm in.
Whoa.
I'm in.
Wait, is this the one with a back seat?
No,
That's a different car?
no, that's not the limo.
It's not the limo? Okay.
No.
Is that
It says
Danny
it-
George's limo?
That is Danny George.
Is it really?
Well, he owns it now, but it
Yeah,
was
yeah, yeah.
Danny George's limo. Yes. That's a stretched Miata. It's a limo.
It's wonderful.
They took it for a couple laps while we were there this weekend. It's hilarious to see it up on the bank just like ripping around. It was super funny. But the two driver car, the right-hand drive, left-hand pedal car,
Yep.
they run like so Pikes Peak International Raceway holds what they call Pikes Peak Time Attack there a lot, and it's standing start autocross, but it's really fast.
Like track sprint.
It's exactly what it is. It's
Okay.
track sprint, except like they actually put in gates and slaloms occasionally.
Oh, nice.
So it's like Solo 1 would be. You know, like I think we've kind of talked about that before. There's Solo 1 and Solo 2 like way back in the day. And Solo 1 was supposed to be higher speed. Like I think some of the real fast cars probably tickle that 70, 80 mile an hour range
Okay.
on most of their courses. It looks like a ton of fun. And they legit bring 250 cars into that. Like
Okay.
it's huge events.
Wow.
And every once in a while they'll run this. The guy who owns the track, his son, is like a professional hot shoe. Like he's gone and raced Australian supercar and shit like
jeez.
that. And so they'll run this thing every once in a while. And so we had a track break. Because you know how Adam is, he builds his schedule, and then he'll build in like time for
Yep.
when things go wrong. But
If things are right.
things went right, really right. And so we had like an hour block where there was nothing scheduled on the track.
Dang.
And so they put together this 2-car challenge. They brought all the pro drivers out there, like Turk and Forsberg and a bunch of other guys. And they did a short little like autocross course with this 2-person Miata and just see who could be the fastest.
I need to try this.
Dude, it looked like so much fun.
We need to build one.
It's hilarious.
I can't believe this actually isn't like a race series.
This should be a thing.
Somebody doesn't have like 2-person Miata racing or
Right?
whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Because I mean,
This would not be that big. That would not be that hard.
It's a
swap it.
right-hand
you just
drive
got to
car.
move.
Swap the
you
dash on the
you got to
steering
move the
column.
boosters and
No, that particular one, it's a right-hand drive car that got imported here.
Oh.
but then they put the
And then they
pedals.
took the American pedal box and just bolted it in over there instead.
That would not be that hard. We could do it on a weekend.
we could do it
just
on a
like
weekend.
pull-
We could also do it. We could do it the other way,
Yeah, it'd be fun.
couldn't we?
Either
Couldn't we
way.
get a normal Miata and then import a
You just
British.
You would just change the steering rack and the dash. And
Or
No, I don't think you want to do that.
you know what would be the easier option if you had a bunch of left-hand drive Miatas is just get the right-hand drive pedal box.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
Import a pedal box.
Because that'd be way easier.
No, I want the steering wheel on the right side. I want to make it a little more complicated.
It does add to the hilarious fact. But then, so we were talking about this. Who shifts?
The driver. Or the
guy in the left
shoe,
drive.
The hot shoe.
The left side. He's got a
the
shift.
pedal guy?
Yeah, the pedal guy.
He's got a shift.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think if you have the guy with the steering wheel shifting, you're gonna burn up a transmission.
I think they have like a little too stiff a clutch, and they were having a real hard time getting this thing moving. It was kind of funny to watch.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So,
There's
like,
no such thing as too stiff of a clutch.
there is on a stock power Miata.
No, there's not.
So it was funny. It was great to watch. It was just like, but that's what this guy does. He's got like an old rat rod truck. I don't know what it is. I didn't really look at it that closely, but the first time I walked by there, it had 2 bottles tucked up against the cab. Robbie, if you look at, there's a nighttime picture with what looks like a giant ball of flame. That's this truck. I thought they were fire extinguisher bottles, and I thought it was their safety truck. Turns out that those are propane bottles, and that he has 2 flamethrowers mounted on the back of this truck. And during one of the night drift sessions, they just rolled out on track without telling anybody.
Oh, jeez.
and we're launching these flames off this back of this truck, and they legit shoot like 30 or 40 feet. I mean, it's I just thought when I realized they were flamethrowers, I thought like a couple feet, like maybe just a little past the bed. No, huge fireballs. Huge.
That's awesome.
It was hilarious.
I assume that's what this is.
Yeah, so I was on the complete opposite side of the track with my iPhone, so it's kind of hard to like really get a good picture of this.
That seems like a lot of fire.
Plus, it was during the night drift session,
Yep.
And they were like trying to make it so that there was never not a car on the drift course. So there was so much smoke in the air that it's almost impossible to see.
Yeah.
But you could see how big of a flame it is. It's huge.
Yeah,
I mean, it's gigantic. It was hilarious.
Fire. Good
I
time.
just thought they built like a sweet safety rig.
This is
right?
what you need your fire truck for.
Actually, a fire truck that shoots flames is pretty good. Robbie's not wrong.
I like where your head's at.
We could build that.
I like where your head's at. It's good. I like it. So the facility itself is really cool. They've got, the pit garages down the middle, just like Iowa Speedway does, or most any other Roval if anybody's ever been to one. This is an old NASCAR track. They used to run like Busch Series and trucks on it.
Yep.
And then they have a parking lot that I legit think is a mile long.
Oh, yeah.
Like, it goes forever.
That's the best kind
You
of
could park
lot.
50,000 cars at this place, or 50,000 people worth of cars at this place. So they just have one set of grandstands across the front straight now, but they used to have 3 that would wrap around halfway around the first turns.
Yep.
It looked like, based on the pylons. Apparently they sold those to Michigan International, and that's where they're at now. Which is a strange thing.
Probably made like a stupid amount of money off of those.
Well, and then the other thing that I think probably kept this place afloat for a while after they purchased it, when Jabay and Stewart went there in February to look at the racetrack, they had like 4,000 diesel Volkswagens there. Diesel was paying them to park the cars there.
Yeah.
And if you look at it on Google Earth,
They're still there.
they're there. Dude, it's a huge parking lot, and it's just packed full of diesels. And I guess it was like a handful of people's full-time job to move these things from one side of the parking lot to the other, because for some reason they had to stay moving. I don't know why.
Weird.
There was something about it. And
So we can't have them on the road, but we can start them and drive them across the parking lot every day.
Yeah.
Every week.
So like they had to be moved
Sounds
every
like a
so
fucking
often.
conspiracy to me.
Uh-huh.
Thought it was very strange, but like I'll bet you it paid a lot of bills on that place.
I'm sure it did.
But so because there's all this space, camping's area is almost unlimited.
Neat.
And because it's an old NASCAR track, there's a catch fence, so camping is against the wall.
Yes.
It's sick. It's so cool, dude. Like you can get out of your camp or out of your tent and look right over the track, and there's cars ripping by you at 100 miles an hour on a bank.
We should go.
It was the
We need
most
to
rad.
go.
It
This
was
is the
the
one.
most rad place.
This is the
ever.
future of Gridlife.
Yeah. This
The
is it.
most rad. And apparently they still have press boxes up at the top of the grandstands.
Yep.
And they're ripping those out and turning them into like apartment style things that you can rent on event weekends.
That's awesome.
Like air conditioned.
That's a cool idea.
Pit box.
That's a really good
press
idea.
boxes.
That sounds like a great place for 1010's podcast. Just saying.
So Austin of Radical Podcast fame, he came and hung out with me this weekend.
Nice.
And he used this app called Outdoorsy, which is kind of like Turo for campers.
Ah.
And he got this I would say it was probably 10 or 12 foot long, pull behind camper.
Yep.
That it wasn't a pop up, but it had these bunks that would flop out and looked like pop ups on the front and the back. And you
I know what you're talking
You could
about.
sleep
Yep.
2 people in each of those. And then it had the table that folds down. You could sleep 2 more people there. And it had a futon that pulled out and you could sleep 2 more people there.
Huh.
How much
And,
was
like,
that?
I think he's paid like $150 for 2 nights.
That's what we need.
That's what we should have done.
We've been fucking this up the whole time.
Outdoorsy.
I downloaded it. I already
You
have
got
it
it.
on my
All right.
phone.
Okay.
Yeah, I already got it.
Well, because you try to rent an RV, it's like literally $300 a day or something.
No, this
Some
is literally
insane
like
amount of money.
people who own RVs. This was
Yeah.
so it was a 2015. It was
new.
practically brand new. We took showers in it.
Oh,
and,
dang.
And
Had a
was-
shower in it?
Yeah, had a
Oh,
shower
for
in it.
fuck's sake.
And he
We
was
need
like,
one of those.
What are we doing?
He was like, the first day we just took showers. We didn't even try the hot water, but it's like 90 degrees out there, so the water wasn't really that cold.
Yeah.
But then the second day he fired up the water heater, and he's like, "Oh yeah, it's got hot water," and I was like, "Yeah, hot water, right? Like more like lukewarm water, more like barely noticeable than what it was yesterday." No, it was scalding hot.
Turn it down.
Yeah, it was great.
That's
because I
awesome.
took a shower in their shower facilities, which I think might be worse than Gingerman's.
Whoa.
There were 4 shower heads in the infield area, and they were prison style.
Oh. Yeah.
And when I
That's
took
bad.
I was like the first person to take a shower that weekend. I took one like almost the minute a couple hours after we got there because I worked like a 10-hour day the day before,
Yeah,
and
you
I
needed a
fucking
shower.
stank. And I knew it, and I was like, I feel really bad for everybody who's going to take a 14-hour ride in a bus with me. Sorry. But so I took a shower pretty early on there, and the drains didn't drain like at all.
Uh-oh.
And I was like, this isn't going to go well. There's going to be a couple thousand people here. There's going to be 2 inches of water coming out of this bathroom the whole time.
Yep. You're
They
right.
got that fixed,
Oh, that's
thankfully.
good.
So, but yeah, this outdoorsy thing, it's where it's at.
Yeah, we'll do that next time.
Because they have. I mean, the place is built for all these people, and so they have all these hookups and all that stuff. There's no water or sewer hookups, but there's power hookups.
Yeah, we don't need that.
That's
That's
all you
fine.
need.
Yeah, so there is a dump station there.
That's nice.
So you just fill it up before you show up, and then you dump it when you leave. You're good.
Yeah.
It's great.
I love
Just no number 2s on the bus.
it. No number 2s on the bus.
Those-
That's
That's the
the
only rule.
That's
That's fine.
It's fine after that. So, on track stuff. So we had a full time attack grid.
Yep.
There were more cars that I knew than I had expected there to be. So like more Gridlife regulars than I thought there would be.
I figured a lot of the regulars would make the trek.
What I thought was interesting is that, like at Midwest, there's a handful of guys that come all the way from California.
Yep.
None of them were there.
What?
I didn't understand that either.
We had that conversation at Midwest. Like, well, yeah, obviously Alpine's going to be full of these guys.
California cars.
All the
right.
California
Yeah.
cars will be there.
Yeah. Like that airlift Subaru.
Yep. I thought for
Guys
sure
like
he'd be there.
that? No.
No?
He trailers all the way to Road Atlanta and all the way to Gingerman. Didn't go to
didn't
the
go to
Colorado
Colorado.
one. Guarantee he'll be there next year, though.
Oh,
'cause
yeah.
I think this is going to be,
This will be the big one.
in 2 to 3 years, this is going to be the biggest event that Gridlife puts on. I guarantee it.
Yeah. I'm not surprised by that.
So, but other than that, there was a pretty good mix of like locals and
Gridlife.
Gridlife, or even like people who weren't necessarily local but also hadn't ran Gridlife, like live in the greater Colorado area but don't necessarily come to Pikes Peak. There was a lot of people who this was their first time running the track,
Right.
even though they were time attack guys.
Huh.
So it was kind of cool, . So there was a lot of people who this was their first time running the track, even though they were time attack guys. So it was kind of cool, . So there was a lot of people who this was their first time running the track, even though they were time attack guys. So it was kind of cool, . So there was a lot of people who this was their first time running the track, even though they were time attack guys. So it was kind of cool, So the minute mark seems to be like the magic number. Like if you can do better than a minute, you're
fast.
hauling ass. And then I also heard like when I was reading through, there's a Facebook group for that Pikes Peak Time Attack event.
Yep.
And there's been some discussions about grid life in the last couple of weeks coming up there. And apparently the 100 mile an hour club is a thing.
Okay.
Going 100 being able to do 100 there is apparently a bit of an accomplishment.
Really?
I'm sure there was a bunch of cars that completely smashed that.
I'm sure.
Just destroyed it. Jeremy Swenson was there in his red Corvette that we know and love.
He got a new engine? Fixed his engine?
Fixed the engine.
Fix the rear main seal.
Yep. Fastest time of the weekend. Ran like a 56, 57, somewhere in there.
Nice.
Ferris Khartoumi, who is one of Dusty's good friends, and we talked about at length for the Super Lap event that I went to in February. He, like, Thursday morning at 6 a.m., that motor was a short block on a stand, and he rolled in with a running car on Saturday from Houston.
Yes.
He lives in Dallas. The car was in Houston. They put the motor together, put it in the car, tuned it, and got it to Colorado basically without sleeping.
That's insane.
Because he's a madman, apparently.
So you're breaking it in by taking it to the track.
It ran a 57 with brake-in oil in the motor.
Damn.
So I took a picture of it going through tech and I sent it to Dusty and I was like, dude, where you at? You know, like, why didn't you come race? And he's like, man, I didn't think he was going to make it, or I might have tried to make time to come. Yep. He's like, he's gone through hell and back to get that going. Apparently, so he used to have like the really big cubic inch naturally aspirated motor that Jeremy Swenson is running now.
Yes.
And according to Dusty, he's had nothing but trouble with that motor. And they think that there's something about those big cubic inch LSs that just don't work for like really abusive track use.
Okay.
And, you know, obviously we hope the best for Jeremy, but Ferris did not have luck with that engine.
Luck with it, yeah.
So he went to a 388 cubic inch motor with a Pro Charger on it.
Yeah.
Because Dustin said, and I quote, he wants to be able to make 800 horse reliably with the option to turn it up.
I love that.
And so I responded to Dustin. I was like, I totally relate to that. And Dustin's like, if you don't make 700 horsepower, why would you even bother coming to the racetrack? And I said, that's why I don't. I mean, I don't make that kind of power, so there's really no point, right? You know, that's where I'm at.
The differential is too much more.
If I want to drive slow, I'll just drive.
I'll just drive around here.
Yeah.
Get a Nissan Micro or something.
I can drive for free on the interstate.
Who cares?
I have to pay all the stupid track fees and the tires and all the shit that breaks. What the fuck?
So
it's been an expensive season for everybody, it seems.
Yeah. You know what's not expensive? Just drive around.
Well, I don't know about that.
But it's not like track expensive.
That's especially expensive.
Yeah. That's a next level amount of stupidity.
It's all dumb.
This is a dumb hobby.
What's ridiculous to me about it, the main reason that Ferris came to Colorado is because he wants to go to Road America in September and run finals.
Yes.
Because he thinks the track battle thing, the bracket battle thing sounds cool and he wants to go to it.
Okay.
But you have to run 3 events
to get there.
And so he ran this festival weekend.
Yep.
He's going to run a Road Atlanta.
Yep.
And then the first day at Road America counts as an event.
That's awesome.
So he's doing all that just so he can run bracket battles. He lives in Dallas, Texas. And he's decided that bracket battle sounds cool enough that he's doing all of that driving and then going all the way to Road America in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin, just to try it out.
I love that dedication.
Race car drivers are crazy people.
They're totally crazy.
I love it.
His car is missing a 1010s podcast sticker.
I love it.
Dusty, make it happen.
Dusty said we need to have him.
We support this man.
Dusty said we need to have him on the show sometime. So we
approved.
We might need to make that happen. So, again, as always, Evos and Corvettes.
Yeah, what else?
I don't know why anybody drives anything but Evos and Corvettes.
Or Corvette-powered cars is acceptable too.
No, well, I would just like to note
that kind of guy, I guess.
The only Corvette-powered car that was there was probably a drift car.
Hell yeah.
Unless it was a Corvette.
Yeah.
But once again, completely dominated by Evos and Corvettes for the most part. Street GT was won by an E90 M3. But other than that, it was basically Evos and Corvettes.
I seriously, the only picture of an Evo I have is one that says "send nudes" on it.
S nudes, Robbie.
S nudes.
It's a driver, and I think it's pronounced Nudez.
Nudez. Oh,
Nudez.
Gotcha.
S Nudez.
I don't think so.
Fucking Evo owners, man.
Can't trust them.
Fucking Evo owners, man. So, speaking of Evo owners, friend of the show, Tyler, gonna blow this wrong. Sawchuck, maybe? Him and his girlfriend drove all the way from Saskatchewan,
Hell yeah.
Canada, a 16-hour trip so that they could race this event. I got to meet them. He's an Evo 10 owner, member of the group. He was especially triggered a couple weeks ago when we made fun of Evo 10s and broken 240s in the driveway, which his driveway is full of Evos and broken 240s. So,
Man after my own heart.
sorry about that one.
I'm not sorry.
Why was he mad?
I mean, triggered.
Who was mad at me because I've failed at making fun of Evo owners?
No, that was somebody else.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember who.
Yeah, I thought it was him for a second.
He was
Yeah, I thought
happy
it was him.
mad. I mean, he was happy mad. You know how
He
it
still
is.
He was
listens, probably.
disappointed.
I mean, he talked to me still.
hurt.
He wasn't like, fuck that 1010s podcast guy.
Well, if he's only been
He was
offended
cool.
once, then like we probably gotta get him again.
Yeah.
His day's coming again.
I mean, he blew up
He's
a
coming back
motor
around.
this weekend, so
Hey, it happens to the best of us. It happens.
he spun a bearing too.
Did he have Bush Latte in it as well?
I don't know what he had in it.
Don't do Mobile One, apparently.
But what I love was like, so he's made a few posts. He even tagged me one on Instagram today, and all he can do is talk about like, this was the best weekend of my life. I had so much fun. The cars never ran better. Oh yeah, I blew up the motor.
Been there.
I just love that like that's the way people look at grid life. You know, like he had what is by all accounts a terrible experience. Like he blew up a motor. They found out when they were getting into the mountains on their way there that their transmission in their tow vehicle is kind of starting to die.
Oh.
And so what they had decided they were going to, because they had this huge trailer because they had her FRS and his Evo
Oh, damn.
10.
Oh, wow.
And so what they decided they were going to have to do is she's going to have to drive the FRS and follow
All
him.
the way back.
Once they get out of the mountains and they're
Oh.
back on the plains, then they
can put
can
it back in.
load the car back up and head for home.
It's not the worst idea.
But,
that's not so bad.
but all the uphill, downhill stuff, like that transmission wasn't having it.
No,
But like
sure.
all those problems, he blew up a motor. He found out he needs to put a new transmission in his truck. He drove 16 hours one way to get there.
Fuck that.
Loved every second of it. That's what's amazing to me
Are
about
you
grid
telling
life
me
and the people
that
who
he
run
was
it.
he was driving for 16 hours listening to the number one drift?
Yeah, he
and
probably was.
Number one time attack and number one.
I don't know.
Track day.
They
I
were
don't know.
two on all those.
I don't-
Oh,
Number
I think,
two.
I think we can claim one on at least 2 out of 3 of those. Well, 1 out of 3 of those.
Which one are we number one on?
I think we can claim time attack at this point.
you're really
Cool.
gonna take that away from slip angle?
Adam
We don't
like
even
doesn't
fucking
even
talk about time attack.
Adam like
anymore.
doesn't even want to talk about time attack. All he wants to do
We
is
like
talk
time.
about
We are
GLTC.
time
we
attack.
are
You
time
like time
attack. We are
attack?
time attack.
And
You run time.
you're-
I like
you're-
a lot. We're time attack
that's-
now.
I mean, I made a lot of really poor decisions this year just so I could go and watch time attack events.
See, he's a big fan of
we
time
are
attack.
time attack.
I had tons of fun with time attack. More fun than I've had doing other SCCA stuff.
Oh yeah, you're
You know?
welcome.
So
I'm just we're
only
the
getting
number
better.
one time
and
attack podcast.
James and his buddy
They don't do it no more.
Chris, they're not doing time with attackers. So
This is ours. This is
I'm
our
claiming
turf.
number 1.
It's our turf now.
Track day can be slip angle.
I'll allow it.
And I think we're not quite at the point where we can claim number 1 drift podcast yet.
No.
That's fine.
We can't,
That's fine.
can't even fucking drift anywhere. That's part of the problem.
Well, I mean, it is what it is. But
Next
I
year.
think we can claim number 1 time attack podcast
It's cool.
stamped.
Approved.
So, JB's Cayman.
yes.
You're killing me with these talking about things you didn't send me
I
pictures
didn't take
of.
pictures. Dude, I was working. I was like 100% working the whole time. I barely had time to do
Go
anything.
JB's Instagram.
That car sounds so fucking sick on the bank. When you're in front of it, when he's coming at you,
So you're not the first person to say that.
you can hear the arrow on the car. It just
Oh, really?
like whistles through the air. It
Damn.
sounds like a fucking jet plane. And then he goes ripping by you, and then there's that 4-liter glorious engine note. It's so cool. And then he ran the Cayman, and he had his FRS in the GLTC race.
Yep.
so one of the GLTC races was wet, and he was the only person that ran Hoosiers or wets. He was the only person that ran wets. Everybody else thought it was going to dry out, so they ran their Hoosiers.
Wrong.
And he was like 5 seconds a lap faster than everybody else, but he spun the car twice in the same spot.
Damn it, Jimmy.
So like,
What, do you watch the Formula One race?
so like Austin and I are like standing on the wall, just like losing our minds over this race, right? And I'm like cheering JB. I'm like, let's do this, and like, dude, he was a half a lap down and came back to like take fourth.
That's awesome.
Which isn't bad.
No.
So there were
respectable.
only, I think, 8 cars that ran GLTC. It was definitely not Midwest.
Right.
I think next year that'll be different. I already talked to Adam. I told Adam what they need to do is for the pace lap, they need to run the oval, not the infield section, because then they can run 4 wide at the start.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that'll be stupid.
Stupid's good.
And he was like, that's the greatest idea.
Nice.
So, because it was such a small grid, the GLTC guys, the guys that run it or that race it, they're cool about like just trying different things, right? Like GLTC is very fluid right now. Nobody really knows what it's going to be or how it's going to be ran. And there's been a lot of discussion about, should we invert grids? Should we invert top 5, top 10, whatever? I think inverting a grid of 40 cars on a sprint race, like that's a really bad idea and it's not going to work. But since there were only 8 cars there, everybody agreed on it. Let's do an inverted grid. So they did that. They raced the first race based on their qualifying times, and the second race they inverted the grid, and it was just cool. I mean, there was a lot of really tight racing, a lot of really good passing. It was
Good
to
racing.
me, it was way more fun to watch that GLTC race than the one that we had at Gingerman, and I think part of that is the venue, because you can see the whole track almost the whole time.
Yeah, that plays a huge role.
And so it was
fans.
fun to watch because the cars, we were standing right on the infield section, and the cars would go by us, and then we could just turn around and you could see them go across start finish and around the oval and watch them dive right back into the infield section. And like from where we were standing, there was maybe 1 or 2 corners that we couldn't see fully.
Yeah, that's perfect.
What more can you ask for?
No, that's exactly
it was
what you
great. So yeah, the spectator portion of this particular event, I mean, festivals are supposed to be a show. That's the whole point of it.
Yep.
The spectator portion of this event is way better than any other racetrack that I've been to with Gridlife. So I think that's going to be really key in the future of this event.
Right.
And then there was the night drifting.
Oh, yeah.
So
Before we talk about that, did Forrest Wang hit you with his car?
hit me?
Yeah. How is that picture of Forrest Wang so damn close, or was that somebody else's?
This is
photo?
not
That's
his.
not
This
my
is,
picture.
Okay,
This
I was
is,
gonna say, Jesus Christ, he's like 4
That's
feet
not
away
my
from you.
picture. But dude,
no,
I was
This is Rob Wilkinson's
there's
photos.
a
and
there's
they're
a very
perfect.
there's a very real possibility that I was standing
Next to him.
3 inches to his left when those pictures were taken. So during the drifting event, they only originally, so they've ran Pro-Am Formula Drift events there before.
Okay.
And what they do is they'll come out of the pit lane backwards, and they'll come up onto the bank and then dive down into the infield and run a section of the infield. And it was decided that while that is cool, it's really hard on tires, and it's really not what they were after for the show part of it. Because if you watched the infield section, you couldn't see them drifting out of the or up the bank and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't quite work the way they wanted it to, so they didn't run that section at all. And what they originally had planned to do was they would do drift grid was going to be on the back straightaway, and you would launch off the back straightaway and then run the same infield section that the road course guys were doing. And what they ended up doing, and then at night they were going to have a condensed, shorter, slower speed version of that. And what they ended up doing was everybody decided that that was more fun because it wasn't nearly as hard on tires. It was way more in your face, and it was better for the crowd. And I think the drivers liked it better too. So that's the course they ran the whole weekend. And so they would launch down this short straightaway and into what everyone called the carousel, which is maybe 20 or 30 feet away from the wall. And then since this is drifting and nobody cares about track limits, everybody just ran the wall the whole time. And it was crazy to watch like the pro cars and some of the really good non-pro car drivers. They would drift through the carousel and then they'd hold the drift right up against the wall all the way into the next transition, but they were like seriously accelerating. Like that really, watching that course from where we were, you really get a sense for the where people talk about like, yeah, I know you're trying to let the back end slide out, but grip is still important.
Yep.
You really get a sense of what that means when those guys, because they're doing, I mean, they come out of that corner doing probably 60, and I'll bet they're accelerating to 80 or 90 miles an hour before they transition to the next corner. I mean, They were flying. And they're 6 inches off the wall, and you're 3 feet off the wall on the other side of it. And so where I would stand, what became my job during the drift sessions, Adam would stand in a certain spot where, as you're coming out of the carousel, you could see him as a drifter, and he had a yellow flag. But in order for him to stand in a place where people could see him early enough to shut it down, he couldn't see the corner that was the problem.
Yep.
So what I had to do was stand like halfway down between those two so I could see Adam and the corner and wave at him if anybody had spun out.
Yep.
So I'm like literally leaning against the wall waving at Adam. Like, and camera guys are like trying to get around me, and I was like, no, you can't be here because I have to be able to see the corner work. I have to be able to see Adam. So you have to stay behind me.
Yep.
So like I'm literally closer to the racing than the camera guys were. And
awesome.
You know how, so they have the K-rail, or they have the jersey barriers,
barrier.
the cement jersey barriers.
Yep.
And on the bottom of a jersey barrier, there's the notches for
Like a forklift?
For the forklift.
Mm-hmm.
And by the end of the event, there had been rubber. Because, I mean, dude, like the pro guys are 3 inches off the wall, 2 inches off each other's doors the whole fucking weekend. And all this rubber is just getting blown underneath the jersey barriers and like just coats your face.
Mm-hmm.
And like, dude, I was covered.
Yeah.
It was wild. Absolutely wild.
Still just picking it out of your eyes later.
Yeah, you're like
face
brushing
all
it off
week.
your
Weird.
arms.
Yeah.
And like picking it out of your eyes. Dude, I'm probably still washing rubber out of my hair. Shit's crazy.
Good times.
Yeah, those guys are a different level.
Turek and Forsberg, I'm pretty sure the government replaced them with robots too.
They're that dead on.
And all day, all weekend.
Huh.
Door to door, bumper to wall,
Just nonstop.
100% exactly where they need to be, when they need to be there, every single time.
I wonder if that's going to translate to the St. Louis drift. If they're just feeling it, and then all of a sudden they go to competition and just
Turek's driving a
throw it
different
down.
car. Well, I guess they're both driving different
Probably,
cars,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
Turek's car is quite a bit different.
I found out that the 370Z that Forsberg runs at those events, that is a party car. That is not his pro car.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if that was his pro car, and he was just using it at this event because he was, going
to St. Louis.
from Seattle to St. Louis. But no, that is a party car.
Everybody needs a party car.
He's got a couple party cars.
Yeah, because he's got the drift taxi too.
Yep.
So, the drift guys, all of them, the pros, the AMs, everybody, by far the best drift show that they've ever put on at any Gridlife event that I've ever been to. Wow. It was the cleanest. There were lots and lots of sessions where we didn't have to go out and pick up anything.
Jeez.
Like
that's never existed at festival.
They ran really clean. They ran really close. They ran really fast. They were up against the wall. They were flying. They were hauling ass. But it was run after run after run. They were perfect. It was great.
Huh. I'll be damned.
Those guys killed it. They all of them should legit be proud of the show they put on this weekend. It was incredible. One thing that's interesting about night drifting, for guys that run a few laps, you'll start to see their tires will start throwing sparks.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Cords.
Does the cords start coming through?
Yeah, and then like you'll see them just exit at the end of the run and leave. I'm like, oh yeah, it's time for new tires. Which it was kind of funny to watch because, dude, some of those guys would run the full course throwing huge sparks. So like, there's no way they had tires.
It's just fire. It's fine.
It was great.
Yeah, I don't know what Nate Hamilton's cart does, but it sets itself on fire.
Yeah, he needs to look into that.
I don't
Bro,
know.
you got a fault back here. Some little iffy.
He did really good this weekend. Like he would lead a lot of the trains, and he was one of the guys with the most angle, the most speed. He was right up on the wall. Like it was, I recognized the car. I remember the car from other events we've been to, but I didn't know him by name until recently because
Travis is doing his...
friend of the show, Travis is building his next car. But so now I kind of have a name recognition with him just because I saw him tagged on a few posts or whatever.
Yep.
And that dude killed it. It was great to watch.
Yeah,
So
he's had a really good year.
It was a fun weekend all around. So the other thing that's cool about this event that we don't get at any other Gridlife event is the off-road sections of it.
Yep.
So Honda dropped off this Passport, which is a crossover SUV that Honda makes.
Never heard of it, to be honest with
Rally
you.
spec.
Honestly, I've never heard of this car.
never
Are
either.
you telling me that they make a Passport?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. It's for sure a car. Well, an SUV. A lifted station
I had
wagon,
no
if you
idea
will.
that this existed.
Yeah, it's a thing. So they dropped this off for Tom O'Gorman to drive all weekend at his leisure. And so apparently...
Can't say that I want to look at one.
No, it's not a
Makes my eyes
strikingly
hurt.
good-looking car.
No.
But I guess he gave over 100 ride-alongs in that thing.
Nice.
That's awesome.
So what they did was the previous owner, before they sold it to the guys that own it now, they were building like a 2.5-ish mile road course outside of the oval.
Yep.
And they got all the dirt work done and then ran out of money. And now there's just like this dirt path.
Okay.
And so they brought a road grader out there and kind of smoothed it out and ran a rally sprint, like rally cross, track sprint style run on this thing. And basically anybody could run that. You could bring whatever you wanted to bring. There was a guy with like a full on Focus RS rally car there.
Okay.
Like
ready to go.
Like dirt aero, big fucking knobby rally tires on it, the whole 9 yards. Unfortunately, there was a little bit of a scheduling issue. Apparently, this weekend there was a rally in Colorado, like a real rally. Like a friend of the show, Ryan Dunham, was co-piloting or piloting, navigating, whatever you want to call it, at this rally in Colorado. So I think that a lot of the like real serious cars that could have shown up there didn't because they were there.
Right.
It's fine, whatever. But then the other thing that they also had this weekend was Life Motorsports makes these little things they call the Sierra cars.
Oh, yeah.
Which are a feeder series for the American Rallycross racing. And so they had this pretty long dirt and tarmac kind of, if you want to call it, autocross course. And you could run 5 laps. You had a warm-up, 3 timed laps, and a cool-down.
Okay.
For $150.
Oh, nice.
And they were whipping people through there nonstop all day long.
Really?
Just one person after the other. $500 to the fastest guy.
Oh, dang.
So Austin drove one of these while he was here this weekend. Said, like...
That's a blast.
Yeah, so they're Hayabusa powered. They still run the sequential trans.
It's perfect.
Sold.
It's a perfect car.
I want it.
So sick, dude. One of them that was there ran up Pikes Peak this year.
Oh, sweet.
Awesome.
And like, they're the one that's pictured right there that Robbie has pulled up. That's the one that James Kirkham drives in American Rallycross. And another one that was being driven there, that's the one that Aaron Kaufman drives in American Rallycross. Like, these are the cars that they were running there this weekend.
Weird.
And you can buy them. And I think that they said they were in the $50K range.
A little higher than I was expecting, but still. I mean, you get what you pay for.
I think it's sick.
We need them.
I'm interested.
Yeah.
You could have a new Corvette base model or
my ass would be in that Corvette. There's no doubt about that.
Party
His
pooper.
pampered ass would be in that Corvette.
That's right, that air conditioning.
Yeah,
You can have all that sand in your face.
Yeah, so when Austin got out of there, he was covered in sand and dust and dirt.
Sure.
So earlier that weekend, one of Gridlife's main media guys, not the drone flyer that we saw at Midwest, but another guy that flies drones for them, but not like the main guy that we saw, the silver-haired guy.
Yeah.
But another one of their drone pilots, accidentally his drone died, and he comes over to race control, and he's like, my drone's on the racetrack. And we were like,
Please stop.
define racetrack. And he's like it's on a corner. Like, oh, fuck. Shit. So I went over there to check it out, And it ended up like it was on the racetrack. It was offline, but it was on the racetrack. And I was like, it's going to stay there for the rest of this session. And when they flag the session and the last car comes into pit, I'll hop over this wall and go get it for you.
Yep.
But that's it. And nobody ran over it. All's well that ends well. But while Austin was driving that Sierra car, the drone pilot was over there and was doing some chasing of Austin for some footage. And so I went over there when Austin got out of the car and he was and the drone pilot had landed the drone, and I was like, all right, now it's my turn to ask a favor. So he hasn't done it yet, but he's supposed to email me that clip.
Oh, nice.
Oh, perfect.
Which should be really cool. I think it'd really put a cherry on the top of his weekend. I think that drifting ruined his life as well. Gridlife has officially ruined yet another person's life.
Classic Gridlife.
30 seconds into the first drift session, I was like, makes sense now, doesn't it? And he goes, yep. So
yeah, all you gotta do is see it one time, and
yeah. Oh, okay. Now I want to do it.
Yeah, now I get it. So, I cannot recommend this event enough. I think that this event is going to be better than Midwest. I think this event is going to be the one to go to. If you're on the fence about which festival you need to go to, this is the one you need to go to next year. It's going to be even more ridiculous next year. I'm certain of it.
We're in. We'll be there.
So
we should move on.
Let's.
Longest episode ever.
That's fine. Presented by Apex Pro.
Ready for some news?
I guess.
10 cents at checkout. Get your Apex unit plus your suction cup mount for free. Add them to your cart.
Free.
10 cents. Apply. At your code box. Boom. There you go.
What have you waited all season for? Just do it.
Yeah, why do you wait till the end of the season to be fast? Why were you trying to be fast at the beginning of the season?
When you
maybe you realize that your slow ass needs some help now.
Well, now that it's about championship season, you're all in the points.
I see. I
really wish
now you need that edge.
I wish I was faster. Here's how you do it.
That doesn't.
That was quite the ad read.
I don't know.
It wasn't even an ad read. That was just. It was what it was. Anyway,
do you want to win your championship or not? ApexTrackCoach.com.
For winners.
For winners.
If you're a loser, don't bother.
They should put that in there for winners. That's a great tagline. Because Andrew texted me the other day. He's like, "That's not a bad idea about drifting,
dude. It's not.
It's not a bad idea.
I think it'd be cool.
But then they came out with that new feature. I was like, no.
Yeah, I thought it was that too. I was like, dude, what the hell?
It's not.
Yeah, it wasn't that.
But,
no,
dude, I think it would be cool if you're not, or if you can't tandem.
Yeah,
it gives you something to work on while you're out there. Just
good indicator of if you're consistent, if you have as much angle in the car as you think you do.
Well, and then the point thing would be fun if you can't have a little competition with your buddies if you can't tandem.
Yeah.
Because you don't have a cage car, you don't feel comfortable doing it.
Since
whatever.
it's all in the cell network, you could do we're all at the same event.
You could throw it in the crew view.
We're at the same event. Yeah. Who's got the high score of the day?
Yeah.
See.
Then you don't need any judges, and it gets rid of all the.
Son of a bitch!
Shit.
We just fixed Formula Drift with that Apex Pros.
I don't think we fixed it. That last event was not good.
I've heard nothing but bad things.
Moving on.
To good things.
I don't think that St. Louis is going to be better, and I'm not.
No.
That track layout looks whack, and
the last one was so good. Why are they messing with it?
I don't know.
Dude, it was so fast. It was so fun to watch.
Well, you don't need to pull it up, Robbie. Let's just see what happens and hope it doesn't suck.
Are you going?
No, I'm not going to. No, I can't go that weekend.
Okay.
I'll probably watch it.
I don't even know if I probably won't watch it. I was so disheartened when I watched the last one.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
it was so bad.
I watched the highlights from Kevin Lawrence and who else posted something? Vaughn Gittin. I watched a bunch of their clips. I'm like, yeah.
I mean, the drivers were pissed.
Yeah.
When the drivers are pissed,
something's wrong.
Something's wrong.
Speaking of, Dusty needs to talk to you. He wants to go to Dallas again. Completely unimportant during the show, but
he sure can.
He figured out how to do it.
Just don't forget that.
He figured out how to do it.
I know.
He's just asking permission, I assume.
It's easier to
he
ask
said
for
he
forgiveness.
needed to talk to you again, which he doesn't need to do that.
It's easier to ask for forgiveness.
Let's not encourage everybody
who
listens to this to just
Dusty is approved.
Yeah.
I was saying, Dusty, it's easier for him to ask for forgiveness from us.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah. Let's not think.
But
let's not give every listener the idea
Dusty.
that they can just apply through us for media.
Fuck no.
Yeah, just Dusty.
I love
that's how
all
we're just done with
of
the
you
whole
guys,
show.
but we are a little picky.
We're very picky.
So
because we attract the best,
right,
and that's what we get.
We
So
attract
Right.
the second best of every category.
and if you're not,
Except for time
If you're
attack.
not the second best,
except for time
fuck
attack.
you.
We are the best in time attack. So
Yeah.
you better step up your game if you want to go to a media event, or if you want to do
Time
media
attack.
for a
This
time
is-
attack.
yes.
events.
All right.
The best.
Speaking of wonderful things for Michael,
A Fiat mechanic has all of these Fiats to sell because unfortunately he passed away.
Did you buy 124 from him yet?
I did
Because
not.
they had one right there in the article.
there was a lot of them.
There was
Dude, there's a ton of cool things.
there was
in
a
this.
racing 124 coupe that caught my attention.
Yep.
But
Ooh.
apparently
Oh. Apparently. But. What's up with
That's
that?
always
so you can go to fiatrescue.com if you're curious about the cars, which I think was today or yesterday. They sold them all.
We missed it.
They were either $500 or if a bunch of people wanted one,
They were only $250.
or whatever, $250.
$250.
If a bunch of people wanted the same car, they were going to do highest bidder.
Right.
I think that's fair.
It is fair, but
I
it
think
wasn't
it
like,
should be
I'm going to
first-
snag that race car for $250
mean, if-
bucks.
if-
and we're
I
gonna
think it
get
should be first come, first serve.
I don't know if you don't do an auction, like if
If you're not going to do
if
a
you can't-
full blown auction,
If-
it should be
or-
first come, first serve.
right, but if you just tell everybody show up on a certain day, you have to treat it like an auction.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because if you and I drove all the way from Iowa for one Fiat, and someone else drove from New York or Florida or some
Right.
local guy just walked in, you're like,
Everybody
we
should
all
have-
drove here for this car.
Yeah. Let's auction this bitch.
Then you auction it.
Right.
So
I get that.
here's, if you're looking at the pictures, you can see he's got all these Fiats, all of
And
different types.
Lancias and all kinds of shit.
All this natural patina from sitting in the sun for 20
That's a
years.
lot of nice patina, to be honest
not
with you.
patina,
It's probably
dude.
worth a lot
That
more
is-
than $250 with a patina there. Todd Daughter sounds very familiar. That's the gentleman that passed away.
Yeah?
The Fiat community is not that big, so I
No.
wonder
Yeah, so you might
if I cross paths with him at some point.
Probably.
have asked him a question about wiring harnesses.
He said it's the brown one.
It's interesting.
Thanks, Todd.
It's interesting that you'd be that specific about a certain part on the car, Robbie.
Yeah.
But yeah, anyway, this it's he had an unfortunate passing. It sounds like
Yeah.
So that part, that's
It
not
sucks.
good. Yeah, that
But
sucks.
That collection, man. Is this? Do we call this a collection?
I don't know what he was doing with it.
Yeah, because
He was parting them out for his customers. I think is what he was doing
okay.
with it.
So
Like-
these have got to go.
scavenging.
Like, yeah, like, oh, this guy brought in a 124 and it needs this part. Oh, well, let me run out back and get it because I can't run down to Napa and get it.
So this is your favorite. It's a specialty junkyard.
Yeah.
This is like your deal here.
This is my deal here. I'm all about this.
It's cool.
And there were a
That's
bunch
cool.
of cool things in there that I would have loved to have paid $250 for.
I think there were some Yugos in there. We like
Some of them
Yugos.
even- some of them even
I
had
don't know why,
titles.
but I want one.
The weird thing is some of the cars have owners.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
People with unpaid bills, probably.
Fair enough. Okay. Because they're like, these cars you can buy these, and like, we can't find the titles for these, and like, these don't belong to Todd, and it's like, what the, why are they on the list?
Yeah.
A little
Sketchy.
sketchy. Yep.
So I thought that this was going to be Michael in 50 years,
Yeah.
but then he went and sold all of his
I know.
things. So
Selling all the stuff, boy.
Get
That shit out of here.
I'm like,
Green cars next.
Yeah.
Out.
so
Get it out.
it's not as much fun anymore.
Get it out.
He's changed.
I know, and
He
it's
got that
really,
Porsche,
it's
he
like
started
not
selling
even.
things.
It's like for the worst, really.
Get that shit out of here.
Yeah. If you would have bought one of these cars that someone else's name is on the title, possession is 9/10, and it's easier to ask for forgiveness.
You're the worst attorney. You're like the worst attorney.
Legal advice.
Yeah.
I don't think possession is 9/10.
Disclaimer: Robbie is definitely not an attorney.
Sure I am. This is a number
Wow.
2 legal
The
podcast.
opposite of what he says. The opposite of what Robbie says may be closer to the actual law in
Yeah, I
your
think that's
jurisdiction.
probably true.
Please consult.
Who's going to drive across the country for a Fiat you just bought for $250? They'll never find it.
It's true. It's not totally wrong.
The other thing I'm bummed out about is that I find out about this after I returned from Colorado.
Yeah, you could have
no
gone over there and
kidding.
looked around. It would have been open at the time.
Not that I
wouldn't it?
had any time.
No.
I never
that's
left
true.
the race. The only Austin and I left the racetrack both Friday or Saturday and Sunday morning to go get breakfast. That was it.
Yeah, that sounds all right.
Fair enough.
So
That's how you do grid life.
yeah, you don't leave.
No.
You just. I mean, everyone goes to Colorado and then never goes to to a mountain, right? Like that's a normal Colorado thing, right?
Yeah, I did the polar opposite.
I didn't smoke any weed.
No,
I
you did
didn't
that.
consume any edibles, and I didn't go on any mountains. That's a pretty standard Colorado trip.
You are not a white girl.
Not even a little bit.
Jesus Christ.
I'm proud of it.
I did go on the mountain.
Yeah.
You white girled.
I did.
You did white girl.
I drove up a mountain
Yeah,
with
in your
a Jeep.
You white girled all over that mountain.
Josh screenshot that and sent it to me like, what is happening to him? Don't let him do that.
It was a blast.
You're going to buy a Jeep Wrangler now, aren't you?
No, they're so fucking expensive.
She wants one, though.
Ridiculously expensive.
If she wants to buy one, she certainly may. But my God, are they expensive?
They are absurd for what they are.
But yes, we can talk about it a little bit, right?
Yeah, real
You
quick.
got 10 minutes.
So took a vacation. Just wanted to get away. She had training, so I flew out there and met her. And then I went to the car rental place, and I specifically asked for just a Jeep Cherokee because that's what she wanted to test drive. And I was like, well, it's a perfect chance. Well, let's rent one. And I get there, and they're like, we got a Kia for you. I'm like, no, you don't.
Is that a Jeep Kia?
No, you don't. He's like,
Can you
well,
make a Jeep
he's like,
now?
He's like, otherwise I got this Mitsubishi. I was like, no, you don't. I rented a Jeep. Well, it says or similar. I about crawled across the counter. I was like, no, I rented a fucking
You're getting
Jeep.
a Jeep, bro.
Listen, mofo, let's walk
So it's
out
like-
this parking
it's-
lot. Let me show you these cars.
So the funny thing is, like, I see like Cherokee there, Cherokee there, Cherokee. They try to
Right.
give me a fucking Kia, Mitsubishi. Do they even make Mitsubishis anymore?
No. It's not even
They're
a new
still
car.
selling off
So he's like-
2017's stock.
So he goes, let me see what I can do for you. And he goes in the back. He's like, I can get you a Wrangler for 20 more a day. It's like,
20 more. Fuck yourself.
fuck it. Give me the Wrangler. So then, of course, it takes us like 2.5 hours. Okay, it really doesn't, but like it takes way too long.
That's what it
So
feels like.
the ladies behind us in line get their Jeep Compass.
Oh, you didn't want that,
You
though.
don't want
You're
that.
fine.
That's,
You're
you'd
all
have
right.
been better
They
off
were
with a
out.
Kia.
Don't
Yep.
worry about it.
So then, yes, we take this Jeep, and the first thing we do is I'm looking at like, well, the tops come off pretty easily. And I look at the back. Oh, just need a Torx bit. That'll come right off.
Oh, no.
So I go.
Did you pull the doors and everything?
No, I didn't pull the doors. So we go to the parts store. We get to this, like, apparently winging it in Colorado Springs is not really a thing.
What do you mean?
If you just show up and be like, yeah, well, let's find a hotel.
Oh.
Not a thing.
Oh, you should have gone outdoorsy and rented a pop-up
Should've done
camper.
that.
Yeah, now you have the Jeep.
So we found these,
Yeah.
like, cabins that
Oh,
were probably
okay.
nice, like, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
No AC. Like, it was fine, but it was the only thing you could get for under $200 a night.
Thankfully, it's only like 50 to 60
It
degrees
was-
at night.
It was hotter than normal, but it was still fine.
Right.
So we get settled. We go straight to the parts store. I walk in there. I'm like, I have this rental Jeep, and I want to take it apart. and the guy goes, like, where are your Torx bits? He's like, right there. I was like, kind of just like take a handful of these and figure out what size it is, because the internet says T40. It's not. It's clearly bigger than that. Sure enough, I go out there, test it, come back. He's like, yeah, you don't look like the type that's gonna steal stuff. Nah, I'm not that guy today. So brought it back, bought a wrench, ratchet and a Torx bit. Next morning, first thing we do, take the tops off, undo 8 Torx bits, throw them in the room. I'm like, where? I was gonna try to squeeze the top into the into the cabin.
Justin. Oh, you couldn't.
It doesn't really fit through the door.
Ah, damn it.
So I put it next to the cabin and just kind of covered it in some bushes. And like, it'll probably be there when I get back. I got the extra
I
insurance.
got the insurance. Fuck it.
Fuck it. So I went to Guard
It
of the
blew
Gods.
off, I swear.
Drove all the way up to Pikes Peak with it, and then that night we're driving through Colorado Springs. I'm like, this is a drug-infested shithole town.
There's a lot of... Colorado
not-
Springs
and
has
I
a
am-
homeless person problem.
Yes, I'm not talking about marijuana. That's not a drug. That's not a problem. I'm talking about crack.
Yeah.
Real problems.
Yeah.
That town sucks. Everything else about Colorado is great. Colorado Springs sucks.
Sorry. Not sorry.
So then we were just driving around, and I'm like, well, I'm just going to drive until I find a mountain road. So I found a mountain road and just drove on it for like 20 miles and got lost and then turned
Yeah.
around. It was great.
Yeah.
That was my Colorado
I think
trip.
a lot of people did
Nice.
that
Yeah.
this weekend.
I believe it.
So,
Yeah, so driving that up to the top of Pikes Peak and then just driving on mountain roads for like hours. I get it.
oh no.
I get it.
Oh no.
Gonna get a Jeep?
I'm
You
not.
gonna let her get a Jeep?
She sure can. I'm not. But my God, they're fun.
At Topeka, he was not on board at all. He was very adamantly against the Jeep idea.
I get it.
Everybody at Gridlife Midwest was
They're
against
fun.
Jeeps,
They're fun.
especially black
Especially
ones.
black ones that are in the paddock.
Yeah, if it's in the
Oh,
paddock,
get
it's a no
black Jeeps in my
non-starter.
paddock.
Yeah. Oh, sorry, Robbie.
It's okay.
That's a sticker now.
Nice.
No black Jeeps in my paddock.
Okay, we got 6 minutes.
All right, let's shut this shit down.
2020 C8 Corvette is a glorious masterpiece of design and engineering, and therefore it's sold out. So
No, it's not.
Almost.
for the first year,
It's close.
No, it's not.
It's kind of close.
That's not
Robbie.
even close. It's a
Come on,
marketing. It's a
Robbie.
marketing scheme to
Come
get
on,
even more
Robbie.
sales. That anyone's on the fence to put the dollar in.
Come on, Robbie. Just let him have it.
it's a great car.
It's a great car.
Money, no object. Would you put your money where your mouth is? Would you
Money
buy it?
object, I'd buy it.
Yeah.
I'd probably wait.
Is this on the
I'd
short
probably
list?
wait.
I had a brief
Should be on the short list.
moment where JB was talking me into it.
He's a dangerous human
He is a
being.
bad,
Because
he's a bad friend.
He put his deposit down.
He's a good bad friend. Dude, he bought it with the expressed purpose of ruining Street GT with it.
Love that guy.
JB's the best. I know somebody else that bought one. It's a close personal friend. And then I know one other person that bought one.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Jesus Christ.
People that wouldn't be caught fucking dead with Corvettes.
Yeah.
All of them. And they bought
Yeah. But people who would be caught dead with Corvettes don't want these.
Good, screw them.
There's a lot of boomers. Like the New York Times wrote an article about people who were mad about the fact that this is mid-engined.
No, don't be mad about that. That's good.
This car is one of the greatest cars to be released in the last
It's a market
20
breaker.
years.
Yeah, it's a market breaker.
It is.
$60,000 ish
Yeah.
for a mid-engine V8 car with 500 horsepower.
Sub 4 seconds 0 to 60.
Yeah,
3
no,
seconds.
Or sub.
It's 3
three.
seconds.
It's 3.
So there's a joke article going around right now. The 8 cars you can buy for under 60 grand that go 0 to 60 in less than 3 seconds, and it's all 8 C8 Corvettes.
Different colors.
Each color of the Corvette.
That's incredible.
That's it.
But if you want to see 7, just look at the front row of any Chevy dealer.
Yep.
Now's the time.
You can have one for cheap if you
Now's
want
the
one.
time to buy
Every
a
single one
C7
of them that was in the
Corvette.
showroom is now in the front because they want them gone.
Yeah. Now's the time.
Deals to be
There's-
made.
Every C7 owner on the planet just went,
Wow.
fuck.
I am screwed.
There went $20,000 off the price tag of my car.
Yep.
Yeah.
Josh Orr was like, dodged a bullet on
Yeah,
that
he did.
one.
He definitely dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
So
It's
Yeah.
so good. I
Yeah,
thought it was
I
going to
love
be.
it.
I thought if I had to put money down, like
they were
to
gonna fuck
bet
it
on
up.
it, I thought they were going to fuck it up, and it was going to be
sure.
$100. It was going to be $100,000.
yeah, exactly.
I thought for sure it was 100.
I would have put like literally $1,000 down as a bet that it was going to be at least $100,000.
Yeah.
No, I never in a million years would have thought 60K starting. Ever.
It's crazy.
Or even if it's 70.
I still would.
Holy
like,
shit.
Never.
Sub 60 is like the base of base models.
Yeah, of course.
But like
still.
even the few options you want, I don't think are going to end up being that bad.
No.
Sub 75 for sure.
Yeah, you're fine.
It's going to be,
That's
yeah, it's going to be
cheap.
crazy.
Yeah, and then the only real hang up is that no stick shift. I mean, it is what it is.
That is
I
the
think
world we live
it's
in.
probably coming if people bitch about it enough.
Well,
Yeah,
no.
if
So
it-
I don't think it is because I read an article that said that a massive percentage of the reason that it is as cheap as it is because they could just pull an automatic gearbox off the shelf. They had to completely R&D a manual gearbox to make it work, and they decided that the amount of money that they were going to have to sink into that was going to screw up the price of the car, and so there was zero effort put into it. And I don't think you're ever going
Not
to
gonna get
see
one?
one.
I don't think I care, actually.
I wouldn't be surprised to see one eventually. It's just gears. It's not that much. It's fine.
But the packaging is totally different from anything GM's ever done.
Porsche does it all the time. They just copy what they're doing.
The engine's on the wrong side of the transmission, Robbie.
It's fine. Porsche did it with their 918. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Transmission.
It's fine.
Somebody will figure it out.
It's not that hard. There's going to be like a kit that you can just swap shit in. It's,
Audi does it.
Yeah, it's fine.
Lambo does it. I mean, that's still Audi, but that's not the point.
Yeah, it's out there.
Somebody will figure it out.
Yeah.
If Underground Racing can put 3,000 horsepower through a manually shifted Lamborghini,
you can get a Gallardo for the price of a Corvette right now. So you can just buy one of those, reverse engineer
there you
it,
go.
and
Just
throw it back
how
in.
hard can it be?
Take the Gallardo transmission out.
Yep. See
Put
how
it
they
in the
did
Corvette. Nah, just put it in the Corvette.
it. No, you want to improve it.
They make about the same
Why don't they
amount
just
of
have
horsepower.
Tremec do it? Or Borg Warner.
They probably did. They probably looked at it.
Tremec was like,
"Yeah, it's
that'll
gonna
be
cost this
$6
much."
million, please.
Yeah,
Nah.
They might pony up at some point. I mean, they sell a whole bunch of these, and people are bitching,
Yeah.
and they think, well, we can sell another 15,000 a year or whatever. They might do it.
Yeah.
They won't
there's
sell that many as manuals. I guarantee it.
Well, yeah, so if the paddles are faster.
Yeah, if you're going to race in Street GT, you're going to get the automatic anyway.
Right, and drag racing, you want an automatic because they're more consistent, and old people don't want to shift their own gears because they're old.
Yeah.
True. Maybe they won't
As much
make
as
one.
I hate it, I don't think that there's a reason. So
I'm curious. I'm curious why your Taurus powered, GT is so fucking expensive. That's all I'm asking.
Dude, they released a track only version of that car. $1.2 million. It's the first Ford product to come with a mil plus price tag.
Not worth it.
And it's like a small amount of horsepower more.
Yep.
And then like the full race car aero kit.
Yep.
And suspension.
No, I'm good. I mean, I love that car. I don't love the price.
Yeah, $500,000 for and I wouldn't be surprised if this car is annoyingly close in speed.
0 to 60 time is the same. Top speed's not as high.
0 to 60 time doesn't matter on a road course, really.
Right.
Oh, you're talking about lap times.
Yeah, I bet
yeah.
when Road and Track gets a hold of this thing and takes it to Lightning Lab at VIR, I'll bet that it's annoyingly close to being as fast as the Ford GT.
It's not $440,000 slower, is what you're saying?
No.
Take it.
You buy a $60,000 Corvette and you put $440,000 worth of research and development into it, and you're going to have an unstoppably fast car.
Yeah. Not only that, but this is the base model.
Right.
It's gonna get better.
It's going to get faster.
The
people.
ZR1's going to be
unbelievably
so
fast.
Good. So good.
Dude, the teaser pictures of the C8R, which has like the wide body.
Yep.
Because, the base models are always narrow bodies.
Yep.
And then the 06 and the GS and the ZR1s are always big booty.
Wide boys, yeah.
Big booty hose.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Dude,
got distracted.
that car looks fantastic. Even in the camouflage. It's going to be so sick.
It's gonna be so good.
So,
I want one.
what's the last one? Let's wrap this shit up.
Volkswagen is shortening their warranty, which is hilarious. It's just really funny.
That'll sell cars.
Yeah, 2017 they went to a 6-year, 72,000 mile warranty, and when I went to the
Bumper
Chicago
to
Auto
bumper.
Show, they talked about how it's about, we believe in our cars and we want to do what's right for our customers, and because we believe in our cars, we're going to offer you this nice long warranty period, bumper to bumper, blah, 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 the whole presentation about blah, 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 and then they shorten their warranty.
Doesn't
Weird.
so they're going to shorten it to what, a 4-year 50,000 mile bumper to bumper. But if I buy a brand new Hyundai or Kia,
10-year, 100K.
is it 100 or 200?
Well, the Kias are 20 or 200 right
That's
now,
the
but
one.
that's drivetrain.
But that's
drivetrain.
local.
Still.
I think that's the local dealership. I don't think that's a factory warranty.
That's probably true.
But still,
it's drivetrain.
What do you care about? Drivetrain.
The drivetrain usually.
Nothing else fucking
Well,
matters.
on a Volkswagen, I care about the electronics, which means that if I
Fair
want
enough.
that car that badly, I'm going to lease it.
Fair enough.
Well, I think that's what they said in there was Volkswagen said like nobody buys these things for that warranty period. So
Nobody buys our cars was the end of that sentence.
Nobody
they
keeps-
lease them.
Nobody keeps our cars long enough to run out the warranty anyway. Like it's such a small percentage.
Right.
We just lower it. It doesn't matter. And that's not
That's not how that works.
how that works.
I bought.
because
I have
that's
bought.
not putting faith in my.
Right.
That's not me. Or that's not putting faith
In the
in
custom.
me
In the
for
car,
that
yeah.
car.
Yeah, for sure.
Like as a customer, that to me that says that the manufacturer doesn't believe that they can honor that warranty and make money on the car, which means it's a pile of shit.
Yes. That's how I read that.
Why would you? It's so stupid. Why would you do that?
Like,
Why
well,
wouldn't you when they had the first meeting
So,
way
like-
back? Why wouldn't they go? That's too long. Like let's not
Well, no,
set ourselves
like-
up for that failure
But
later.
then if the reason really was that nobody keeps a car that long anyway, fucking make it longer.
Yeah, that's the thing. That argument doesn't make any sense at
Yeah.
all. If
It's
nobody keeps the car, make it like 1,000,000 miles long.
Yeah, make it 30 years, 300,000 miles.
First owner only.
First owner
non-transferable.
Right.
CPO totally different.
If the one
Who
loser keeps
cares?
it, whatever. Just
Let
pay
him
for him
keep
to.
it.
Yeah,
let him.
They won't
keep
lose money on it.
The percentage of people who are going to roll this thing.
99.999%
Yeah.
of people are going to get rid of it.
So who cares?
It's All it says is
Why-
car's a piece of shit.
Why do they
They're all pieces of shit.
All of them.
they keep
Every last
shooting
one.
themselves in the foot?
Yeah.
God, they're
I don't
just
know,
the
man.
worst. What
But
is
they're
this?
still
What is
like
with Volkswagen?
They're the first or second largest auto manufacturer in the world, so I mean they're still doing something right.
Yeah, people buy it.
I don't know if they're bigger or smaller than Toyota. I think that like changes every other
It
day.
doesn't matter.
Yeah,
Yeah,
who
or
buys
GM
who,
or
yeah.
whatever. I love the part where they're like, but the first 2 years of maintenance are free. But it's like, that's oil changes. Like, what are you doing in the first 2 years?
Hopefully nothing.
Yeah,
There
exactly.
should never be anything.
Maybe they're like, there is a lot of shit we have to do in the first 2 years. We got to back this shit down. It's a big deal. This will save you like $2,000. I don't know. Let's end this show. But that's way too funny.
It is.
That's
funny.
just comical.
It was. That was. I was.
All right.
Yeah.
We'll catch you guys next week. See ya.